We're live on YouTube right now, and we better go live on
You guys are the
Facebook.
greatest, man. Shout out to everybody that's about to send us super chats, man. Dash Resource LLC. Make sure you guys go to my YouTube channel and you guys subscribe, man. Man, when we gonna be live on Facebook? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause Facebook be hating on YouTube. YouTube be hating on Facebook. We need y'all to come together on YouTube though. Don't leave that part out. Now the puppy want to be shy, huh? She like, how does she know that when we go live? She's like, oh, hide my face. There you go. She's like, what you want? What you want, funny man? This is why people should come to YouTube to watch, because they get a chance to see the behind the scenes stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So, man, how was your day today, man?
My day was really good, man. I'm thankful. I'm learning new principles and applying new principles and, man, praying with more enthusiasm and just really just trying to just tap in, man, and be grateful, man, and have a attitude of gratitude. And having that type of feeling, like somebody asked me earlier today, I was at the bank, right? And she asked me, what did she say? She said something like, what did she ask me how I was doing? I can't remember anymore, but I told her some good stuff.
Was it all? But it was
I'm
facts,
an idiot, man. Please help
facts,
you.
Though.
So I got this 3-in-1 shot of me. Y'all want to see how this looks?
Man,
look at this.
Really
now I'm starting to do this shit.
See, you guys don't know what I got to deal with behind the scenes.
What?
I'm glad YouTube get a chance to see this. Okay.
I was flagging on y'all niggas.
King,
big flicks.
And a t-shirt, King, flaming hot.
Flaming hot. Let me tell you something.
That's hard.
This is summer colors. Like I'm coming out of the summer.
That's hard.
You feel me? I am actually a fire sign. You know, being a Leo.
We're the same signs, man.
But you got on a black shirt. See, I'm fire for real.
So SMED, out the dark, I blessed you today. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? With a timely text message while you was on the road trip. What happened today?
All right, so this morning I was getting ready to take a ride to Cincinnati, and P sent me an audio book that we had been talking about reading, and it was a very good book, man. I tapped in for at least about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, and the book is amazing. The book is, by the way, for everybody that's wanting to know what is this book. If you black, you probably won't care. But it's a book called The 5 a.m. Club. Is that it?
5 a.m. Club.
The 5 a.m. Club. So me and P, I mean, we're in the same group with the rest of the blacks. You see, we're doing an audio book, so we don't have to physically read.
Yeah.
D, do you like reading? No. Be honest. No?
I hate reading. I read in prison.
Thank you. Finally. Do you like to read, Peanut?
The last time I read a full book front to back, I was locked up.
Damn,
and it was
that's
the Bible,
fucked up.
though. So I read the Bible front to back. And I'm glad I did. Because a lot of people who are believers have never read the Bible. At least read the book.
And so I do like to read. I killed y'all. But let me say something. I got an announcement to make on this show with you.
Author. That's wrong.
Let me make an announcement. Let me make one announcement that people probably don't know, and I know black people probably about to be salty and all this other shit. But I do got white. I'm part white.
Man, you're not surprised with anybody who's been watching this show this whole time. You have stood on the side of white.
Niggas cannot.
Right.
You can't claim me.
This is why y'all gotta tap into the YouTube.
You can't claim me of your, like, don't even do that. They be like, it was this one nigga. This nigga SMED, man. That nigga's an entrepreneur. He did a lot of shit. And I'm telling you, he didn't sell out, man. He didn't sell his shit to the Arabs or nothing. And now I'm like, no. Oh, just think you know. Don't claim me.
And
Nah, I'm
newsflash,
just playing.
I'm part
I'm just
Japanese, so hey.
I'm not black, but I am a nigga. Oh! All right. I'm sorry. D, we gonna make you. I don't want you losing your job fucking with us.
Losing my job.
Yeah, because you are doing a really important job right now as a
Drug and alcohol counselor.
drug and alcohol counselor. And Peanut, just corny ass jokes make motherfuckers drink and do
For
drugs.
sure. Listen, once you start dad jokes, you can't stop, I swear. Listen, that's a PSA. If you start dad jokes, you cannot stop.
But hold on, I ain't the police. You do what you want to do, you know. But I help people when they have issues and problems with it taking over their life.
Yes.
So,
Which leads us to our viral question of the day.
let me
Great
put it on
segue,
our.
right?
Let's
you
put it on
love
our
helping
display.
people, right? So you've helped people with pianos. You've helped people with a washer, right? So you posted on January 14th.
Are you kidding me?
Pending, I have a free working washer that somebody can come pick up as long as they are willing to move my new washer in the basement, right?
So doesn't that sound like I had ulterior motive?
No.
You wanted to get the damn washer out your house, D.
So wait. That's a perfect segue to the viral video I'm gonna show you.
Here we go. Let's turn up the volume on this.
This is a delivery man who pulls up to a place to deliver a washer and dryer, the brand new washer and dryer, and they were stopping him from leaving because he would not remove their old washer and dryer. So we want to watch this video live and get your reaction since you've been in this situation before and you obviously chose the correct way of doing it.
Call her folks while she was on the ground. Like we get what I do. Get what we do. Drag her ass from under the truck and pull off.
Here we go.
We out of there.
Here you go, D.
Yeah, here we go. Look.
Look at this crazy shit, man. Like for real, bro. She want me to hit her.
No, I just want you to put the refrigerator in the house. We with that thing. We don't even have a dolly. You go down to the Home Depot, rent a truck, and pick one up and bring it up. Go ahead.
I tell these motherfuckers like they have a delivery only. This is a drop off. Tell me why they tell me like, no, you about to take this refrigerator out this house, the old one, and bring this new one upstairs. Mind you, they got this big ass refrigerator, and we ain't even pull up for none of that.
He ain't dressed for that. Look, he
So
got,
she tell me like, you ain't
he
gonna
got
know
a
what
shade
this
on. He
is.
probably smelling it. You know, he got the smells on.
We pull out game. She jumping on the truck. She said, I'm talking, I tried to get on the ground. I'm thinking she finna get up. I'm pulling up like closer and closer. She not budging. Try to get on the phone like. And I tell her like, since you on the phone, you better call your people. You come get this fridge, you take upstairs because this, you know what I'm saying, it's dead. Get what she do? Get on the phone, call her folks while she was on the ground. Like we, get what I do? Get what we do? Drag her ass from under the truck and pull off.
All right.
We out of there.
All right, so react to
This crazy
this.
shit, man.
What is your reaction?
White people. Karen, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Karen shit going on, bro.
I mean, that's just weird.
Why
It's some new shit happening.
Is this like? So I have a question. Has it always been this way, or has the pandemic made people different, man?
I think it's always been this way. We just didn't see it because it wasn't so much, stuff on YouTube and Facebook.
I think more than the pandemic effect, I think that right now, since Donald Trump came in office, I think that he's brought out a lot of white pride. And a lot of, like, white people don't feel like they got to be so apologetic to black people, and they're emboldened to confront black people, stand up to them, and do shit like this to show black people that they're not just gonna be they can say how they feel, you know, and
With no consequence.
well, without consequence, but consequence or not, like, they don't have to placate to just be so overwhelmingly apologetic or display white guilt all the time, you know.
And he showed that it's okay to be rude and weird and just obnoxious.
Stand up.
So I wanna
Stand
ask,
up to
right,
black
so-
people.
So does equal rights equal slander? Like, Like, it's like, should we be, like, if white people are more emboldened to be who they actually are, like, these are how they actually feel. It's like, before they felt like, well, we shouldn't do that because they're black and it'll send the wrong message, but we really want to act like this. How do we want to live? We want to live in a fake world where we're straight, or in a real world?
I want this world. I want people to really be able to be who they are. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to deal with that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if somebody did this stuff to me, like, what should this guy do in this situation, D?
Well, I think the whole thing should have been handled a little bit better. I mean, there's ways to go about it. When I told the people to come and get the washer, I told them to bring a dolly. I can't pick it up. I'm not helping.
Right.
You have somebody to help you. So, communication, you know.
Y'all hear a violent situation happening outside?
Earlier, when I pulled up earlier today, I heard some dude arguing with some lady talking about, who are you? And all this other stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all all, it can't be no more than 4 apartments over there. How do y'all don't know each other? It's weird to me.
They probably delivering a washer.
Oh, shit. Man, let's do some legendary stuff, man.
All right. So, yeah. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Peanut, the CEO of Dash Resource LLC. My business is your business. I got my man Stack and SMED.
What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to the Legendary People podcast. Man, we got somebody that I love dearly, man. This is a sister to me. This is like, we like this, man. You know what I'm saying?
Look.
Like, nah, for real. And like, man, I'm just honored, man, to have people come on this show that are just special people. For sure. Special people, man. And not just to me. I'm talking about to humanity, man, and willing to give theyself as a gift to so many. And we got that today. But we do want to say what's up to Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School.
Yes, sir.
Dayton High School. Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. P, what we say?
You ain't cool if you don't go to that school, bro. You already know the vibes.
You're not cool if you don't go to that school, man.
You know the vibes.
Horizon Science Academy, Dayton, man. We love them a lot.
For sure.
And that's all that I want to say. Please go and check out Dayton High School. Or, well, it's really Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. Like, it's a lot of words in Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. Can we come up with, like, we need to come up with something that's, like, a little more free-flowing for me, man. Like, with everybody. So, for example, watch, I'm going to read our sponsors now. By the way, Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School is not actually a sponsor in this show. Did you know that? They're just a school that we support and that we love and that we believe in.
Yes.
But our sponsors are Sheiks. Go to Sheiks for breakfast. They got the best breakfast in the city. By the way, today I'm going to give away somebody commenting a Sheiks breakfast, and I'll be doing this once a week. Okay. I talk to the owners of the business, and I know all the owners of every place in Dayton. You know that?
Hard.
I'm like,
I went out to 111 Flavor House, and bro, like they treated me like red carpet down there.
Did they?
Yeah, they was like, well,
I'll call them.
wait, so you gonna tell them I can't get in?
No, don't do that.
They're like, this is completely reserved out, but we're gonna make you a table. It was amazing.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was.
Well, man, Joey Williams and Meech, man, I love them at 111 Flavor House,
For
man.
sure.
You guys, man, come on and get y'all a little sponsor ad, you know? Agnes All Natural Grill. We are giving away a Sheiks breakfast, man. So go to Sheiks for breakfast. They got the best breakfast in the city. You know, I'm crazy about turkey bacon and the potatoes and the fruit on the plate and all of that, man. It's like
me. Sorry for the people.
So beautiful, man. They do a beautiful job at breakfast, man.
Yeah.
And we're giving one away. So make sure that you jump in the comments, man, and ask a good old question. We're going to give you a Sheiks breakfast. Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you're ever injured, call attorney Michael Wright. Do you know Michael Wright? Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. Make the right choice. That's attorney Michael Wright. When you want to get lit a little bit, get you some good old Kiara wine. Contact my brother, Big Antoine Cunningham, on Facebook, or go and check it out at More for Less.
Man, you lose your
Go for your mouth. Go for your mouth. T-shirt Kings and Camera Kings, 4301 North Main Street. We are winding up the summer, so I still got that super summer sale on T-shirts. You get 50 shirts for $250, and it is going crazy. We doing some shirts for the Dayton View Day right now.
That's hard.
They came and got that super summer sale. Shout out to Richard Tillis. They came through. And shout out to everybody that comes through T-Shirt Kings, man. Y'all been loading me up with shirts, man. I really appreciate it. This is like, you're a real motherfucking rapper, man. Tillis is the realest.
You like that?
I did. That was kind of cool.
To myself sometimes.
Man, my bro RT. When you know him for real, you couldn't say shit like that. RT.
RT when he on real time, all the time. Bro. He on real time, bro. RT.
Richard Tillis. Now you came and got shirts. God darn it, man.
Well, come on, man.
I'm losing my fastball.
Oh man, come on.
All right, so and then T-Shirt Kings and all of that, and then my bro Peanut Johnson teaches you how to get a lot of money every Sunday. Oh, sell stocks not dope every Sunday on the Dash Resource channel. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification on the Dash Resource channel, and he teaches you how to get like grants and all kind of stuff. Just his business is your business, right?
Sure.
Your business is his business, man. He's gonna get funding for your business, so make sure that you watch Sell Stocks Not Dope every Sunday at 8 p.m. on the Dash Resource channel. All right, so now without further ado, do I got anything else to say about ads?
Cool.
Who? The shoparea.com is like the baby Amazon. Delivery is always free from the store to your door in 4 business days.
Look, we are the best promo guys, bro.
Yeah, man, the shoparea.com, man. It's a young black queen that run that thing, man. She like Oprah Winfrey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Baby Amazon pulling up on you.
Feel me?
Is the shoparea.com still
I just
lit?
talked to her this past week and checked on her.
And is she doing all right?
Yeah. She actually moved to Florida.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shoparea.com.
Kidding me, man.
You're firing up the crack pipe.
Man, are you kidding me?
I ain't heard from her. If I don't hear from people in like about if I don't hear from somebody about 3 or 4 months, man, they on crack now. I'm just playing. This is like we having a like real
on that Fetty Wap.
All right, so man, let's get to D, bro. Come on, P.
Right.
What you got, bro?
Dash Resource again. You say LLC. Your business is my business. If you got, feel me, you got $650, get with me. If you got $580, I got a lady. You know what I'm saying? So, we're not here to talk about none of my deals I got going on, right? So we here to celebrate another legend, legend, right? We always say on the Legendary Podcast, no legend is higher, bro.
Right.
And especially when it's family connected. I feel that, you know, some people have legendary lives, people have legendary stories, and we have actually an intertwining of the two. So without further ado, I don't know what name you want to call you today, but we'll call you Deborah Teller today. Okay. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
You look amazing, and you look amazing too there, baby girl. What's a
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi, get the yayo.
Bully Queen. We got the bully queen in here.
Oh, look me right in the eyes like nah, cuz. So we like to celebrate our legends by finding out the origins. So without further ado, where'd you grow up?
Well, I was born. Where is it at?
I cannot say that name.
No, I was born in San Antonio, Texas, actually.
Okay.
Was you,
D?
Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't
my
know
dad was in
that.
the Air Force, so I was born in San Antonio. He met my mom, moved to upstate New York with a job, and I grew up in upstate New York.
So what's your first memory of life? Is it in San Antonio or is it in New York?
Probably New York.
Okay. So like, what was like early life like for you growing up in New York?
I had a great childhood. You know, my mom and dad, they still together. Normal, you know what I mean? Like what you think.
What city we talking about? Upstate New York.
So we, Catskill, New York is where my dad's from, so we lived there for a lot of the time.
Mike Tyson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll
Is that a
take that.
point?
Yeah.
Okay. And we lived in Canandaigua, New York. My dad worked there at the VA because he was in the Air Force and he was like chief of payroll for a long time. Moved from Canandaigua, like in the 6th grade, we moved to DEBRA Heights.
So before that, well, let's talk about school in New York,
Mhm.
because we being from Dayton, right? like the things that we hear about New York is like
New York,
upstate real New York. So is that more like
white people.
it's white,
New
all
Yorkers
white?
call it the country, is what they call it. Like they consider them people of their country.
So is Catskills like close? Is that close to Buffalo? Because I know that's probably the biggest upstate New York City.
I've been to Buffalo, so it's not that close. You know what I mean? Like it probably
Rochester,
is, but yeah, it's close to Rochester. So no, the Catskills is like mountains. It's all
Catskill Mountains.
It's all mountains. But where I grew up was called Canandaigua, New York. We lived in this little place called Crystal Beach, where everybody know each other. School was like, it wasn't really big. One black family. So there was like 10 black kids in the whole school. You know what I mean? The whole school district, rather.
Yeah.
So I didn't grow up like any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no, I don't know, I just didn't know any different.
It wasn't like no community that like
So-
you felt like you were part of.
So were you the only person of color?
But I'm not though. So this is the thing. So people kind of don't know what I am. So
Right.
my mom is Mexican and my dad is white.
Right.
So I did kind of not fit in, even being of color of that.
Right. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So it was a little awkward and kind of you know, like I said, like I didn't fit in sometimes. But
Hmm. And did you have any brothers and sisters?
I have a younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
So he's married. He lives in Clayton, Ohio. He's got 2 kids. You know, he owns his own. So he contracts out to deliver like the bread to Kroger's and stuff like that. So
Okay.
he's he's made a good life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he owns his house and normal life. He's coached to my nephew's baseball team, and my nephew's getting ready to probably go pro pitcher, I think.
Wow.
He's doing so.
That's nice.
Yeah, Northmont High School.
So coming up in Catskills, New York, what type of stuff was you interested in your early years? Like, do you remember what elementary school you went to there?
Marcus Whitman Elementary School, but this wasn't in the Catskills. This was in Canandaigua.
Yeah.
It was in like Rushville, New York. There's all these little places, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, we didn't. I don't know. I had a best friend. We could walk to everybody's house. It was just. We went to the bus stop, which was like a fire department, a volunteer fire department right down the street from our house. We could walk down a whole just a road and go down to the beach, and we lived right on the lake.
Tap that other mic, Peanut. See, it's the other mic that's right there. Yeah, bring that mic in front of you. There you go. Now we're cooking with gas. Now talk. Now D. Yeah. Oh shit! But did it come out?
Nope.
It's something though. You need to replug it in. All right, y'all. We'll be right back real quick. Hold on. And then we're gonna come back much better. Okay. much better for you guys. There it is. Now we jumping. All right, come on. Let's just go. Well, wait a minute. It went back out again. This is funny Marco at his finest.
Move on now.
Yes, party all the time. Like, damn it. What was that? D, who sung that song? My girl likes to party all the time.
Like
If you-
Eddie Murphy or something.
Thank you. D, you got it first. Good job, D.
Trying to take mine.
Take your point from Beanut.
You little punk ass punk. How much I got left?
All right.
They
So,
kinda low.
all right, D. So, wait a minute. Coming up in Catskills,
No.
what? No.
Canada.
All right, hold on.
I
No.
don't remember the Catskills too much.
But what school? I mean, so what elementary did you go to again?
Marcus Whitman Elementary School.
Where was that at?
In Rushville, New York.
That was Rushville. All right. And was that even more suburban than Catskills? Or are they all it's all suburban?
Yeah, it's all.
What would you compare Catskills to, like, far as Dayton, so we'll get an idea? Like, would you compare it to like a Centerville?
No.
Inglewood, Oakwood.
Nothing around here. You can't compare it. It's mountains. It's like your neighbors are across the. You have to drive to go see neighbors and stuff.
Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some Gatlinburg type stuff?
Yeah.
Wow. So how did y'all wind up there, though?
Because my family's from there. My dad, his mom's dad. They were from there. So that's where he's from.
So he went to Catskills. So do you got any, like, significant Memories from New
Just
York.
like my grandpa, when my grandpa was alive, like I would go there for the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember he always used to give me Oreo cookies. That was the thing, like double stuffed Oreo cookies. And I remember sitting on his lap
Yeah.
and eating Oreo cookies.
That's cool.
And he made me he was a carpenter, so I remember he made me a hope chest, and I was like the oldest granddaughter, so the first, I think. So yeah, so he loved me the best.
So were there any black people there that you linked up with or that you knew?
No.
Not at all.
No.
All right. So what about your mom's side of the family? Your mom is Mexican?
So they live in Texas.
All right. And so is that who you got when you were in San Antonio? Was that because your dad was in the military, or was y'all linked up with your mom's family?
He was stationed at Bear County, so that's Air Force Base in San Antonio. He met my mom like at a party on the base or something, but my mom's family is from there, so that's how, that's why she was there.
Uh-oh.
She gotta go to bed.
Does she?
Yeah.
All right.
Here, you take her while,
Let's take
her
a.
outside.
You want to take a? Okay.
He can take her.
All right. So when so
I'm listening.
did you your memories aren't really from San Antonio, right?
No.
All right. So did you ever get a chance to meet your mom's side of the family?
Yeah, we're still cool. Like now, you know what I mean? Because we're close family, so we go. Like all my life, we've always either went and visited, or they come up here. They still come up here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're close. We're Facebook connected, all that stuff. So
For sure.
yeah.
Like, all right. So you got your pops, who is white, and then you got your mom, who is Mexican. Did you ever feel like, as a child, you was around a lot of white people, but now how you are is like you really just a part of the black community. Was you ever feeling like, you said you felt out of place a little bit sometimes with white people around? Is that what it was? You was feeling out of place
at
with
the time?
white
I probably it wasn't. So I guess like if you are a black kid in an all-white school, you're gonna feel awkward, right? So I guess that's kind of what I mean. I didn't feel out of place. I have friends and stuff, but I just knew that I was not white.
100% right.
So, and then, so when we came here, my mom and dad, I think working at the VA, they had a lot of black friends. So all of their friends, my dad's like a white dude, a black man trapped in a white man's body. And I don't know, he's just like the coolest white dude you ever. He knows all the line dances. If you go to the club, he's out there dancing, and they're looking like, damn, what the hell's going on? So, I don't know.
All right.
So my mom and dad, almost all their friends are black. So I think that's kind of.
And so, how did you guys? For what reason did y'all decide to move to Ohio?
My dad's job. He got promoted with the VA.
So he got out of the military, and then he went to. Well, the military is still part of the VA.
He's in the
right?
Air Force. Yeah. So it's
a branch.
Government job. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they offered him like, because he was in the Air Force and he was like some top secret kind of guy. You can't. He still won't tell us no secrets. You know what I'm saying? That type
Right.
Of shit. Ooh.
Damn, hold on, something clicked off, but then it clicked back on real quick.
No, that was it.
We got it. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
That TV went off over
Let me
there.
check Facebook.
Oh, jeez.
We still on Facebook though. We still live.
Chi-Chi, come here.
Look, Chi-Chi,
Chi-Chi,
you're in trouble.
Chi-Chi, take a point away from Chi-Chi. The first dog to lose a point.
Oh shoot.
You the first dog to lose a point in podcast history.
Okay, there you go, Mama. She just wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, here come the video. Okay. And we had so much trouble with our TV in the past.
And I had to come fuck it up again.
Chi-Chi, you cost $3,000, Chi-Chi.
See, it's fixable.
There it is. Chi-Chi, Chi-Chi. You a good dog, Chi-Chi.
Unless you like, I know my name.
All right, so So okay, we get to Huber
Mhm.
Heights now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so what school do you go? What grade is this? D
So
six.
like the 6th grade, yeah.
Sixth
So-
grade. All right, so walk us through that 6th grade year, that moving.
So when I came to I went to
The
Studebaker.
comment section put Chi Chi in the comment section.
Uh-huh.
They put Chi Chi in the comment section.
It's actually is that a dog profile picture?
Is it?
HTH Ani. Oh, that's Ani.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? What's up, young king?
So when I went to Studebaker,
Mhm.
they hated me. All the black girls in the school hated me, and I didn't understand what was going on because I came from a little town. You know what I'm saying? So I went
Right.
there. I went there and they bullied me all through until I went to high school. They used to spit on me. They used to jump me when I got off the bus. They used to, real bullying, like not this what everybody calls bullying.
Online bullying.
This is some real shit.
Real life bullying.
So
And I never-
what was some of the things that was happening though? Like let's walk through some of those events though. Like yeah, I mean just give me one actual story that we'll talk about. So you actually got into a fight with somebody?
Well, I didn't get to go to, when I went to high school, I went to Wayne High School, my first year, there was a girl that came up to my locker and she said, "You were talking about me?" And I was like, "Yeah, bitch," and she started fighting me, so I got kicked out of school and I had to go to JVS.
Mm-hmm.
Or else I wouldn't have graduated. So I went to JVS and I met more people in the hood because it's all the schools connected, which is CTC now. So it's like,
Well, prior to you leaving that school to go to JVS, what kind of student were you?
when I was younger, I was a good student. Then I started not being such a good student. Because the girls that were bullying me, I had a friend named Monica. She wanted to she was like, "Well, fuck that, let's be friends," So I was friends with her, and then I became friends with all the other girls who were.
Are they black?
Yeah, going
Okay.
to the bus to the mall, to the Salem Mall, hanging out and being drunk and
Yeah.
smoking weed and party. So that's where all that.
The lit girls.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like that, but I ended up being like that because I wanted to fit in because I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So, so
Right.
that's how that happened.
What were some of your school interests like before you got to that barrier? Like, what are some things like in school that you liked about school? Nothing.
Not really because I was in the band. I played the flute.
Okay.
And I liked it because I was good at it. I used to go to competitions and all that stuff. And that was some weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess it's not weird. I have to say I'm a talented person. I know I am. You know what I'm saying? So I'm creative and
So before we go into your adolescent years or something like going to your teens, what's one of your finest childhood memories?
Well, we always had dogs. You know what I'm saying? So I remember we had a husky named Husky. We had a cocker spaniel named Rusty. I had a rabbit.
At the same time?
Name Lucky?
No.
I mean,
Her name was Blackie.
I'm following the rhyme trend.
Husky, Rusty. So these was at the same
Blackie.
time.
Blackie.
Because it was a black rabbit. And I came home one day from school and his head was under the garage door. Somebody must have shut him in the garage
Oh,
trying
my
to
God.
make it so he wouldn't come out. But yeah, so that was him. But
Yeah.
so I've always had animals. I love animals.
So I'll be remiss not to ask you, what's your worst childhood memory?
So I'll cry right now, but probably when I in the 2nd grade, I had a best friend, and her name was Kelly Bowman. And I told you we used to go down to the bus stop at the fire station to catch the bus to go to school. And we had to cross a main street, but it wasn't busy, because it was in this rural neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelly forgot something. She was like, "I gotta go home and get," 2nd grade. She came back across the street and she got hit and the car dragged her all the way down the street. So we watched her
my God.
holding on to the tailpipe of that car and just, and we ran down there and you couldn't even tell it was her. So she died right there.
Damn.
So 2nd grade, that was kind of traumatizing.
So at that point, I mean, in that point of our lives, we feel like we're immortal. I mean, we feel like we're going to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
Did that change the way you looked at life and death at that moment in time in your life?
I don't know. I don't even remember a funeral. I don't remember grieving. I remember, I just remember it happening, but I don't kind of remember like what. Maybe I just pushed it back. I don't know. I think about it and I remember it, but like I don't know.
Okay, so did your mom or parents talk to you about it or anything like that?
I don't know.
Okay, it's
I'm
kind of
sure.
Yeah, like the defense mechanism kind of kicked in, kind of
Probably.
Yeah, for sure. So middle school. Where'd you go for middle school?
Studebaker.
And that experience is
Horrible.
bullying, horrible,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So now you're hanging with kids so that's a weird dynamic to be going to Studebaker, but somehow you end up at the Salem Mall. Is that because that's when you go to the?
Well, that's because how old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
Okay, so back in the day when the Salem Mall was open, like all of us teenagers or whatever, we used to catch the bus and go to the mall and just hang out and get just nothing. It was nothing. It was just where everybody went, and so we just that's all we did. We catch the bus and go hang out downtown at the arcade and stuff. Because I'm 52, so all the old schools know what I'm talking about. When I say
Right.
that, but. And that's what we did. So.
What were some of the things that like y'all got into? I mean, was it just chilling, hanging? I mean, was there any type of criminal element to it at that point in time in your life?
In grade school? I
Yeah.
mean, in middle school?
Mhm.
Probably not. Just drinking and going spending the night with each other, and probably at the most like dudes from the west side coming to pick us all up and going, to skate world and stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
stuff that people probably do now too.
So I mean, like you're missing school. Are your parents alarmed? What is the reaction when you
Well,
go
I wasn't
home?
missing school.
Okay.
I wasn't missing school. I went to school because I didn't want to disappoint my family. My mom and dad worked hard to get us to where we were, so I didn't want to. I wasn't like rebellious or anything like that. I just had a hard time because I was bullied, and then I fell into a group of people that and then like in high school we started really hanging out I can hang out in DeSoto Bass, Arlington Courts, Hilltop. You know what I mean? My dad, little white guy, he used to have this little blue K car. Remember the blue? It looked like a little square car. It was a Chrysler K car. And he would come to Arlington Courts and be riding around, go to Hilltop, and they'd be like, bruh, it's a detective out there riding around. And it's my dad looking for me, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, and then eventually everybody...
Well, how did you start going to those like
fitting in with
projects
them
and
girls,
stuff?
and we just did, and then everybody, everybody's just...
Cool.
We was all cool, yeah. So that's how I know a lot of people, too. Not just from that, but... I don't know. I'm a people person. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people. I get a lot of respect, even up to to this day from.
Were there any warning signs that the streets was kind of treacherous during that time? Like, what kind of things did you see during that time that was a precursor for where your life led to later?
Well, because I was drinking a lot. Everybody was. We were all just hanging out. Wouldn't go to sleep. We'd be up kicking it, partying, and I don't know. A lot of people died. People. I remember at that time, like I don't like saying it might affect families, that are listening, but certain people were shot and killed, and just different things happen. But now how when people are dying now, you got overdose and stuff going on. Mostly it was just shooting back then.
So. To me, it don't sound like you were alarmed or scared during this time that like you were living through it. I mean, was there any part of you that was fearful of the streets?
No, I think it was normal. Like I said, I feel like people protected me because I was cool. They'd be like, "Oh, you ain't fucking with her," you know what I'm saying? And I just got that.
So, had you started hustling any of your time during high school? Not at all.
No.
But were you around people who were hustling?
Not really. Just partying.
Just partying. All right. So, where'd you graduate from?
JVS and Wayne High School.
You graduated from JVS. All right. So, after graduation, then was what you started trying to do?
I met my kid's dad, and that's what happened.
Okay.
So I didn't.
How'd y'all meet?
From going to JVS, I think. I want to say there was people from Trotwood there, and I think somebody introduced us or something like that.
That's Joint Vocational School.
Yeah,
JVS?
it's CTC now.
Okay, right.
Same thing. So, and I think that's how we met. I don't even remember.
What were your goals prior to graduating high school?
So I was in school for fashion interior merchandising.
Okay.
So I wanted to maybe
Interior
more interested
decorating.
in like the housing part, like the the
Yeah.
interior merchandising,
Decorating.
rather than the fashion part. But yeah, and I met some other friends there, and I'm still friends with some of my friends that I went to school with there, like my friend Danita. We still, you know what I'm saying, and it's just, another one of our friends, she passed away, Kim Smith. I don't know if Todd remembers her, but she passed away along, So we've got friends that have left, friends that have died, friends that are still around.
Mm-hmm.
So
Your kid's dad, was he hustling?
no, so he was smoking crack.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say? And but I didn't know.
Were there any signs?
Smoking
before-
crack before y'all had kids or after?
Well, before. And back then it wasn't too bad. It was okay because it was back in the 80s and 90s when everybody just started doing it. You know what I mean? When
Right.
It wasn't.
Well, people
I mean,
would smoke.
I've smoked before.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like when you used to roll the Mo's and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they used to
It
roll
wasn't-
It was just like smoking a
Primos.
blunt.
Yeah.
Or how people
Right.
look at popping a pill today. It's
Yeah.
the same way people pop pills today. Like, oh,
And
they know what popping a pill.
Yeah, it's different.
It was though. Like we've had a bunch of people on here who was hustlers. Like for example,
It was Tina Shaw.
you got Tina Shaw, but then you got my bro that's doing Real King Alpha Male that was in here that's doing the workout. James Pate? No, James
James Payne's a painter.
Jones Turner.
James Gillette.
Yeah.
Gillette. His book is on my nightstand. Literally.
Yeah. Our bro Gillette said that like he is a real G too.
Horace,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
sure.
Horace,
Oh, Horace?
correct. HG.
Horace.
Yeah. Horace Gillette.
Yeah. We used to, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, just a little bit of that then. I mean, it's called a legendary handshake.
Well, because I haven't
Gillette.
seen him in a long time. Where is he at?
he came.
Oh, my God.
He came and did his life. His legendary
I
interview.
promise you, I was thinking about him like last week or something, and I was thinking like, damn, whatever happened to him?
Mhm. Well,
He's
right
a
now
millionaire.
he's doing well. He's an author and he's got
And he
a
always had
fitness.
that rough voice.
Yep, he's got a fitness center, a gym. Yep, and he sells decks of cards, and his deck of cards is a brilliant idea for working out and
His
stuff.
book is right there on top of this right there.
Yeah,
That's his
yeah.
book right there, literally. It's upside down, but yeah, that's his book. Here you go.
Mhm.
Workout.
Oh wow, that's
So my family will give
crazy.
you one. There you go.
Yep.
That's
There you go.
dope.
So
Because he was another person that you might have thought might have fell off. Because yes,
Right.
he was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
yep, but he did a stretch in
Because
prison.
he went to Columbus, I think, from here and stayed out there. But yeah,
Well, I
that's
think
what
he's in Columbus now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I think he's setting up shop, but like he's seemingly doing good.
Absolutely.
That's
You know
cool.
what I'm saying?
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, man. And, real OG. So your kid's dad,
Mm-hmm.
before y'all even had kids, he was smoking a little bit. But
I would
did it
ask in
start?
hindsight.
Okay, go ahead.
So in hindsight, like looking back, were there some warning signs that you saw that he was, on drugs, or it was something that you should worry about that he was on drugs?
I don't think it was nothing anybody was worried about at first because, like I said, it was just like a thing.
It was a new.
And
It's
I
kind of like
knew,
blowing.
he was smoking with his friends and stuff, but I didn't know it like snowballed after a while. Then he started, and then after we had kids, it was full blown geeked out shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And we lived in Triangle View, and he used to go to Parkside and stay gone for like a week, come back smelling like cat litter and his spine hanging out, and he used to rob us and Christmas take everything. It was that bad. He used to sleep under the bridge over there by Parkside.
Mhm.
The police chased him up a tree, and he sat up there and smoked all his crack until.
Walk us through one of the worst days of him smoking, where you just was like, "This is enough."
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know what y'all know about codependency, but there was a lot of those days, and I just kept going because
What is codependency?
Codependency is a lot of things. So it's not, I think some people have an idea that it's like you depend on somebody else, but it's, it can be a lot. Like, some people don't want to be by themselves. Some people want to be the caretaker of somebody, feel like you can fix everything. Loyal to a fault, things, all that. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to it, but those are just some of the main aspects, maybe, of.
I mean, and how many children did you guys have
3.
together?
So all my kids are by him.
So right, so y'all got 3 kids.
And that's another reason I stayed too, because I was like,
that's
we got
what I was
kids,
that's
and my
the
mom
point.
and dad, so they instilled those morals in me to be a family and stay together, work it out, work through it. So I'm like, oh, it's my kid's dad. I got to stay there for the kids.
How was your parents feeling about him? Because that's another part of the situation. Like, you're their baby, and they're seeing him do all of this stuff that's not good. How are they? What advice are they giving you in order to take care of the situation?
My mom and dad liked him when he was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
they seen the best in him.
You know what I mean? I mean, for a short time, like, they let him stay there. He had to sleep somewhere else in the house. We weren't like sleeping together or anything, out of respect.
Yeah.
But it just, he was an asshole. He just kept, just like anybody on drugs, he just kept fucking up, kept doing dumb shit, and so finally how I got away was he went to prison for 2 years, and I was like, this is my out,
What was he charged with?
Probably just
drugs, yeah.
So, what are you doing in your life at that point in your life? Like, what are you doing professionally? What are you doing?
So I remember I was working, because I was at JVS and we did co-op school, so I worked, and I was in merchandising, so I had to find a job that was close to what I was doing, and I worked at the VA because my dad got me a job at the canteen, so I worked in the store at the VA, making whatever, not much, but it was a good job, and it was a stepping stone to I don't know, just being out there in the work world, doing something. And I liked my job. But then I started drinking and doing stuff too. And then I was like not going to work, calling in, all that stupid ass shit. And then he would be doing stuff to me where I would miss work too. You know what I mean? Because he was abusive and all that. Or he would steal my car, or he would, stuff that, yeah.
So what roles led to you eventually selling drugs?
Well, I want to say it started there because being codependent, he used to go on Fairport and smoke crack when them apartments used to be right there. So I used to be Fairport, Rolling Circle, all that. I used to be out there. And like I said, people...
You would be what? When you saying you would be? Because, I mean, that's right by the bond, basically.
I took my first son in the stroller, and we'd sit in the hallway in them apartments, and I said, well, if he ain't coming home, I'm going to stay here where he's at to try to... I thought I could save him, you know what I'm saying? But then I started selling crack. I said, well, if this is what I got to do to be around him or be with him, then I'm just going to, so somebody showed me what to do and how to do it. I ended up being really good at it. So I was over here on the west side with all these, these dope boys, these young dope boys, and they looked out for me. They made sure nobody fucked with me. They, showed me how to do shit. And I was half cute, so people would give me more dope than, and that's how it started. So I was good at it.
So was there a part of you that looked at it saying, you seen what happens when someone's on it and what it did to your family? Was there a part of you that thought about what it did for other people's family during that time?
At that time, I wasn't thinking like that. Because, and then also the mentality is if I don't give it to him, somebody else will. At that time, so.
Right. So during this time, you're over in that area. Your kids are with mom and dad during this time, basically. Right?
I mean, I used to take my kids with me. They used to be, even later on down the line. I used to. It's not. I'm not saying it was right. But.
It's your testimony because it's here to help other people as well.
And I was like, I'm still a good mom. I'm still watching my kids. I could take care of my kids even if I'm doing, so.
Right. I mean, we all have our stories. So, so during this time, Like, do you have a plan to get out, or is it more or less like you just living every day? Like, it's just.
I don't know. After that, I just went hard. Like I started, like I said, I was good at it. I started making money, and then I started getting in trouble. I would go, you know, I was in treatment to not go to prison.
Right.
I went to jail, workhouse, you know, whatever.
What was the first day you got locked up like? Like, you know, I mean, because you've already had experience in the streets at this point. I mean, you've already had friends in high school be killed, go to jail. Now you're on the receiving end of now you are going to jail. What is that first experience like for you?
I can't even tell you the first experience. I don't even remember when the first time I went to jail was.
Okay.
Mike Wright can tell you. Probably.
Right.
But yeah, I don't even remember. Honestly.
Yeah. So those were like your short stints when it came to that. Tell us about the time was like your last day before you go do eventually 8 years.
I mean, there was a lot in between, like.
Yeah, fill us in, please.
So like, going to all these little short stints, I met a lot of people. I made a lot of, you know, new customers, and eventually I moved on the east side. I don't know if y'all remember Shabazz Carr, but he was my best friend, and we started selling dope out of my apartment on Brown Street. We lived over there, and then he got shot and killed. So after that, like, I lost it, you know. So.
In what way do you mean lost it?
I just went into a real deep depression. My mom and dad took my kids for a while, and then I started drinking a lot, taking pills, and just like fuck everything. But I still sold a lot of dope. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's when the East Side just started. I just was there for years, and like Ty, you know, like Ty said, that's how I knew Ty from over that way back in the day, and it was. Just, I have that personality. Like, I made everybody like me, and everybody wanted to be my customer because I took care of people. I care about people. Even if I was doing fucked up shit, I still cared. So I would feed their kids. I'd give them clothes. You know, give them rides. If you want to go to rehab, I'll take you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So, were there any,
Bring on the heavy hitters.
you know, like, were there any close calls when it comes to you, when it comes to robberies, killing, anything like that? Have you ever been robbed before?
yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a lot, because I did carry a gun, and I like guns, you know what I'm saying? So, and I got a lot of respect in the street. So a lot of, I remember one time I got robbed.
Walk us through that story.
I was working in my yard, so I'm working in my yard over off of Xenia Avenue, and I was working out there till like 11 o'clock at night, because that's what I do when I do something, you know. So anyway, I'm out there, and then some little boy came to my back door, and he came knocking on the door, and he says, "Have you seen my puppy? My puppy was running through here." And I'm like, "No." And he starts going to my front yard. I'm like, "Bro, you can't just walk around my house." And then,
how old was this little boy?
Like 16 or something. Like he was a teenager.
And you were?
This was right before.
28, 27?
Oh no, it's probably maybe. It was before I went to prison in 2000. What I went in 2005 was probably like.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Probably 3, 2.
So this is after me and you met. Okay.
Yeah, I think I already went to like Marysville and all that shit.
Have we talked about that part of your story?
No.
You going to Marysville?
No, because I didn't know what you wanted me to. You know.
I want to wait until you got back to talk about y'all inception, how you guys met.
Okay. All right. So.
But that's walking through the time she got robbed, so we're in the middle of that.
Okay.
So, and this is later on down the line, but you know, this is one instance of that happening. And so a little boy came, and I chased him, and they knew I was gonna do that, obviously, because there was a guy standing behind my car when I went to chase the little boy to the front, and he just grabbed me from my neck and put the gun in my head, took me in the house, and he was like, of course, like, "Bitch, give me all your shit." And I'm like, "You can have this little shit." It was only like $700 and maybe an ounce of heroin. Like, I don't care about that shit. I was mad because he took my favorite purse and took it, you know, and he was like, "Give me all this," and you know, and then my daughter was on the couch asleep. He told my son to go in the front yard, my youngest son, and I think my oldest son was in the back asleep. So, yeah.
Did you think that he might kill you?
You know what? Back then, Ty, I felt like I was invincible. I was like, anybody on And it was less likely back then too. Like today, I would probably feel differently because people don't give a fuck anymore. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of a street code back then, and I'm not gonna say morals about people, but they just wanted to get what they wanted and leave. They don't care about killing something. You know what I mean? No, nobody. I don't know. It's just different now.
So I think like right now, I don't know about right now, but I've heard that a lot of bros from the west side go to the east side in order to get money, because that's where they feel like they can
They do that still.
get it in more. And like you've heard about people from the city going to either like small towns like Springfield or going to West Virginia or going to Richmond, like Ease talks about sometimes. Richmond. Yeah. And so like I think like when you're talking about the east side, D is like a godmother, pioneer of going to the east side and finding that untapped market, while people was like on the west side pretty much fighting for scraps.
Right.
Shit was plentiful on the east side. It was like undiscovered.
Let me see a motherfucker come over there. I used to get pissed. Like,
Right.
You like
You like what I was talking about. You like
Right.
If somebody, you know, because I worked hard. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just come in and take over my shit. Like, what the
Right.
fuck?
And so what I was gonna say was just, you know, from me first meeting D,
There we go.
I was working at a place called Dayton Garden Label, and I was homeless for a while, and the Most High blessed me with an apartment on Oak Street. All right, and so got my apartment on Oak Street, but I had hustled before, you know. And we talking 30 years ago, right? Just to make put everything
Are up, guys.
put everything in perspective.
Everybody waiting to get it's over with.
Well, I mean, you got to think though, man. This shit is being marketed to kids, man.
Yeah.
That this is a way for you to be able to come up,
Yes.
and you can only take so much before you try it, and you will be minding your own business, and a fiend will walk up to you and ask you, "Do you got something?"
Absolutely.
And when you wasn't even thinking about doing that, it flips a switch in you to say like, damn,
Entrepreneur spirit is in
I
everybody.
better, yeah, like, man, shit, that could have got some money, and it just, and you'll try it, man. So, you know,
we do that as entrepreneurs today. I had somebody call me and say, you know, can you help me get my watch hours up? I said, let me make a phone call.
Right.
Make some money off of it. Like, I
Right.
didn't think of it until someone called me and asked me.
exactly. And so with that being said, though, like, I was actually working, and moved over to the east side, and then on Oak Street, and I started seeing like just opportunity. It was just like seriously lit, and then so I started hustling a little bit, but now I'm serious about a little bit. But then I did meet D. I met D, right?
What was D's first, like, what's your first impression of D when you first seen him?
I mean,
Honest, just straight up. Straight down.
well, I just thought that she was a boss. You know what I'm saying? And that she was in control. I thought that she was funny. She was charismatic. She was just a business handler, man. You know what I mean? And I thought that she was just like super cool. And for like, she was diplomatic
Okay.
enough to not like make me as to somebody who would be an enemy, but we just became cool instead. And she would help you. You know what I'm saying? She would ask you, "Do you got something?" And like she still had shit that she could get rid of, man. But she would make sure that like D is like a nurturer to make sure that everybody around her is all right. She's a leader, and that's how she was. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been my own leader, so I'm not gonna like fall underneath anybody, so to speak. But when me and her was together, she was the leader. You know what I'm saying? Like in that, well, she.
I've been trying to lead SMED for so long.
It was just, you know what I'm saying? It was, you know, like it was her turf though,
Right.
and she knew everybody.
Really ran.
Yeah, she definitely did, you know. And so that was my impression of her, just a boss.
So I'm going to ask you, what was your first impression of SMED? Here we go.
Well, I was
Dusty. Dusty.
Tell us when you first saw SMED. What's your first impression? To find out. Let's find out who the real SMED is.
I mean, for real, because I walked into this place that was supposed to be my spot. And it was right down the street from where I lived, because I made sure I stayed in that area. And
Larry. I wonder what Larry up
Oh
to.
no, they was dusty.
Yeah,
they was
was
scary too.
I remember
But-
D let me meet somebody named Barnyard or something. Man, I thought that we had seen the dustiest people ever. Then she let me see these people. They was even more dusty. That was a conversation we had. Me and her was cracking up.
They made Pigpen look like Denzel
Yes, bro. Yes. She like, you thought that. I'm like, God damn, do you know the
But
dirtiest
they was
smokers in the
they
world?
was bringing that money,
For sure.
They was.
and they appreciate it because like when you sit in a spot and you feeding them, and I don't just mean dope, but feeding them. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They respect. It's all about that. And they shiesty. I ain't gonna say that they didn't. But
Yeah.
at the same time, because they were shiesty because they had Todd in there paying them to sit there, and it was already, and I already paid them. So.
So SMED was already paying. SMED. You keep saying it's a little bit, but you have people underneath you SMED already?
No,
He
she's
was
talking
paying
about
for the
that. She's
house.
talking about the if you into a fiend's house, you have to give them something
Oh,
to
of course.
stay in.
I mean, back in my day,
I ain't had no damn
we ain't paying
workers like I had somebody on the corner slanging it for me or something. I didn't have
we
that.
ain't paying. We make sure they were straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pay. I mean, pay somebody with whatever it is that they want to be paid with. You know what I'm saying?
Their currency, whatever their currency.
Exactly.
Right, but don't tell me that's mine for a week, and you got somebody else sitting in there that's giving you something too. But anyway, so I seen this car, this gray and red big ass car outside, and I'm like, what the fuck is in here? I go in there and Ty's sitting there. I'm like, the fuck? Yeah, so that's how I met Ty. Like, get the fuck out of my shit. What the fuck are you doing here?
Okay.
He's like, huh? What? No.
And then y'all end up getting along, right? So,
Yeah.
so
Definitely.
So, give us a good old story of both of y'all together. I know y'all got one.
Well, I mean, from back then, like I would just say, man, on the grind is like late night type shit. You know what I'm saying? So some of the shit you can just remember, just hustling all night, just riding, taking D to go and maybe make a play or something. You know what I'm saying? And you look up and it's early in the morning. And you like, damn, we was grinding all day. You know what I'm saying? So something like that, but nothing like one specific example. Because, man, just like for example, somebody like, man, name me something that you and Peanut did, man, that's so great. Like, I just like, bro, yeah, I mean, when you kicking it with somebody all the time, man, that's your family, and y'all just, just doing what y'all do. And that was all,
And the great thing I think about like me and Ty's relationship is that's all it was. We just was so cool. It wasn't ever no like flirty or no relationship type shit. It was just like a brother and a sister, like from jump. And that was cool.
That's love,
and
that's love.
and like, I mean, like D has done so much stuff with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? For example, something that would be more recent when we talking about back then, might not, but like D came and worked at the store. We done made commercials together. Do you remember the commercial that we made though? Like on 3rd Street? Yeah, when you got kid. Yeah. Yeah, we made a real cool commercial. And
It was Micah.
Yeah, it was me, you, and Micah.
It had to be Micah. Shout out to
Yep.
Micah.
Yep.
Chill.
But like, I mean, just over the, like, we talking about in the 90s, in the mid 90s is when this was going on. This is 95, 96, around in there. Nah, well,
It was
maybe
way
Jason.
before that.
Well, no, because my son was born in 97, and I remember that was about the time, because I know I was with his mom at that point. You know what I'm saying? So on Oak Street, it was like 96, 97, and then till now,
and I got my first gold to tie.
Got your golds? Yeah. Nah, you went to Cincinnati first.
No, I got for my first ones, and I still got like this. I got. I had a whole. Some of them ain't there. He won't put them back in. He said I don't need them no more because it's not a good look. I ain't that no more.
I told her I would not put her golds back
I
in.
saw her prison picture. She had golds in the prison picture.
Yeah,
That's
she's had like what 4, 5, 6? How many golds did you
I
have?
think
D?
like 5 bands.
About
What I had.
yeah.
And I got emeralds and diamonds.
All diamonds.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we got, and when D got out of jail,
We ain't about to go that far yet.
I'm just saying she came and worked at the shop, man, and like came in there and seen little shit that needed to be done and improved us and made us better. You know what I'm saying?
Touch. A
Yeah.
mama's touch. You feel me? A mother's touch, right? So what are some of the things that led? So we still in the 90s, right? So like, but like you did get jammed up before your eventual 8-year sentence. So what was that like?
I mean, it was a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so I done got caught with, been in like probably about 10 raids at my house.
So what's well, let's walk us through a couple of raids.
It's
How
all
does
about
that?
just get down, put your feet on. You know, you got people stepping on your back with big guns to your head and stuff, and
Did you kind of
you
get the
got
benefit
fiends running around flushing shit and getting. I remember this one guy had his stem in his pocket and he was smoking when the police came in and he shoved it in his back pocket and it was burning him the whole time because he was smoking.
Yeah.
And you know that shit gets hot. His glass was hot as fucking, so it was burning the hole through his pants while the police was coming.
Do you remember one time we was in a workhouse together? Do you remember that?
No.
You probably don't
You was in
remember.
the workhouse too?
I went to the workhouse. I did 30 days in the workhouse one
What?
time and 10 days another time in the workhouse.
What?
And you
For
was
driving?
no domestic violence.
Oh, God.
And then the time that but look, man, like I didn't do it.
He's innocent.
Nah, real shit. Like that was it wasn't like me being the person that was in control of the fight or nothing. But this is like right after OJ, nigga, you're going down.
Jesus.
You're going fucking down. If you get into it, you can't argue with your woman right after OJ, boy. Them police was on one.
Like, oh, okay, yeah.
And then the 10-day sentence was like a probation violation. I couldn't stop smoking weed and ended up just getting 10 days.
Yeah.
Michael Wright was defending me.
Well,
But he did the best he could. Like it was on me. It was
he wasn't that good back then, huh?
Nah, he was good. It just wasn't his fault though. Like when you
that's accountability right there.
well, he did everything he could, and that was my bro, man. Like I had like a couple of I had some money on me. Like I had my store at this point, and like I had money on me, and like after they sentenced me, I'm like, bro, can you take this up to the store and just give it to him and this and that? And I handed him a nice little bankroll in court. He took it to the shop. That's my bro.
And that's hard.
Mike Wright, man. But
I wonder, is he on here?
I don't know. But Michael Wright is like that's a
He's
brother of
OG
mine, man.
too,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I love Mike, man.
I
But
used to hate going because my lawyer was named Carl Lewis. He was new in Dayton or whatever, and I started bringing him all these cases.
My son, sorry.
He always tells me I made him famous, like I really put him in the game or whatever as far as being a lawyer. But he's from Cincinnati. He used to not be able to go to court with me sometime, and he'd be like, "Well, Michael Wright is gonna stand in for you." I'd be like, "No, fuck that shit. I don't want him standing in with me." Like, you know what I was saying? I used to hate it, but Mike used to come anyway. Him and Van Oy, and but now it's different. Now he's like my brother too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he'll give you the shirt off his back.
Man.
He's a cool dude.
Mike is a special bro, man.
For sure.
Like he pull up for me all the time. He came and did an interview here.
Yeah,
I mean,
shared
he's
it again
ordered
today 'cause it was
thousands
here
of
today.
shirts.
Came up on my memories today.
Whoa.
Oh, today?
Yeah.
Damn, nice.
Yep. So I shared it again.
The
So
Most
it's
High
on
did
there.
not make mistakes.
But Mike is, man, he always sponsors our basketball program. We got a new program. I'm going to go to him and say, bro, come on, get you a team in the program. Like,
He need to buy a puppy.
for him, for Mike that's like a lawyer with a lot to lose, he will come and mix it up with people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
On the
That
T.O. side. I mean, like, T.O. drive around in a car all day with his face to the side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to trust
Stalking.
you to ride around with my face on your car.
Stalking. T.O. driving around all day in
You
Michael
bragging
Wright's car
anyway,
stalking.
so-
I just messing with you, big bro. Messing with T.O. T.O. likes, man, I'm gonna get you for
He
that,
helps me
man.
too, though.
Man, I love
T.O.
T.O., man.
I'm in the business of help, in a more.
As a matter of
Formal
fact,
way.
while I'm thinking about that, bro, I do want to do one thing. 6ix9ine has a party coming up.
Yes, the lot party, the jamboree.
Yep, and I wanted to damn near
Yeah.
do a read for him. We can keep going though, bro. So I want to get to the pen though, D. What?
So, but like your first stint was in Marysville, right? And how long did you do there?
I did a year.
A year. So you came home. So like that year
I was
there.
in boot camp there
What were your plans for when you came home?
to sell more dope.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't time yet. And even there was all of my customers, and it's Marysville. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So all the people that I was selling drugs to
Is in
would
there.
end up being up there. So they took care of me.
Mhm.
Everywhere I went, when I went to the workhouse, sometimes I would do weekends for stuff, and Mike Wright or whoever would get me so that I could do weekends. And every time I would turn myself in on a Friday, they'd have all my shit in there for me. You know what I'm saying? They'd have my box full of food and because I got that respect.
Right.
This girl came to me one time and she gave me a leather jacket. It was brand new with tags on it. She said, "I'm gonna give this to you out of respect."
Mhm.
I was like, she's a fucking Godfather type shit. Like, what the fuck is going on here? But it made me start thinking about some shit. Like, what am I doing out here? Like, that's making people. Hindsight, I was a good person. I'm still a good person. I'm just a good person. You know what I mean? So, just did some bad things, made some bad choices.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually you get out. You go back to the streets. I mean, so like you still have small run-ins, but nothing where you really do a long stretch. What happens in 2005 where you eventually have to do 8 years?
So at the time I was married, my husband was getting sentenced.
So like your husband at the time is your child's father, the one that was on drug. Oh
No, so I left him when I said I did.
Mm-hmm.
I met my husband 1999.
Okay.
Met him at the Monday program. So
wow.
that's some weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were, together. More not together probably than together because of him going to jail, me going, so back and forth. But we hustled.
Mm-hmm.
So 2003 he went to prison. In 2005, December 22nd, 2005, he was going for sentencing, and I was down there, and they wouldn't let me leave after he got sentenced, and they arrested me.
What?
Yeah. And my lawyer had already talked to them and made a deal with them saying, okay, she ain't going nowhere. So that's how I stayed out so long. But then I guess they figured, well, what does she have to lose now? He's sentenced to 30 years. So what now? You know what I'm saying? She can run. What is she going to do? So they detained me.
So prior to the situation, you were already indicted? Were you already, waiting on sentencing? What was going on during that time for them to already?
I guess I was indicted. I was charged. And I was waiting for my own court, but that hadn't been established yet because he wasn't sentenced yet. And they had been.
Y'all were co-defendants?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
now
and then looking at the paperwork after all this happened, so they had been following us for 6 years. The feds were.
6 years.
6 years. So I'm telling you, like, these guys out here now think like it's so crazy because somebody would get raided and be like, oh, they didn't find shit. I'm cool. I got off on that. They still following you. They still watching you. They still watching everybody that's around you. They told me shit that, like, I read it in the paperwork. Like, they had stuff in there. I was like, people that came to my house that I didn't realize was the people. And then the people that...
They just mix people in and just, like, what do? They send in undercovers to you?
No, they send people that maybe caught cases already or something. The people that told on us, I say it out loud because I don't care no more, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want nobody else to get caught up. I don't even know what they're doing today, but Benji and Ray Ray. Benji, Ray Ray, and Fat Melvin told on us. And It is what it is.
What were some so like a lot of times, like they'll have the names omitted or something like that, but a lot of times the situation.
No, we saw them in court. They walked in and we watched them on the stand, heard them coming out their mouth and telling. First it was in the paperwork, but then to see them coming in on the stand, because a lot of people say that, like, oh, I seen the paperwork, I seen them in your paperwork. Bro, I seen them in person on the stand, in shackles, going in, and they couldn't even look me in the face. I couldn't go in the courtroom because that's when he was in there, and we're co-defendants. But so I seen them bringing them in, and they go in shackles into the little room on the side by Judge Rice's courtroom, and yeah.
So like at this point in time, is your attorney telling you we should take it to trial? Is he telling you we should take a deal? What was the deal they had on the table during this time?
So when I went, it was called a bill of information that they had on me, and they wanted to do a proffer, which is just coming with all this, like, look, we're gonna tell you what we know, and basically you can either follow through and tell us what you know, or, and that ain't me. So I was like, I did my shit. I could have told on so many people, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't. And now that's what I'm saying. There's no street code or nothing no more. Like, right. These dudes out here
the streets is illusion.
It's crazy.
What were they offering less time if you would have told on somebody?
Yeah. And they was throwing names out there, and they wanted me to throw names back and stuff. I'm like, I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't know what that is.
And were you already in jail at this time, or you?
Yeah, that's when I was detained. I went to Butler County Jail. I was in Butler County Jail for 2 years.
Is this Fed time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, because like just in the paperwork by itself, we made over in the last year we made over $3 million, like just in drug money that was on paper. So there was a lot more to go along with it, and that's why I couldn't get out. You know what I mean? It was.
How did they keep track of how much money y'all made?
Well, they had transactions, and they told how much we would go by each week, because I had a schedule. I was, I had a schedule. I ran a store. The houses that I ran were like 6 o'clock in the morning. We opened for the people that had to go to work, and we closed at 12 at night for the people that wanted to get something and were going to be sick the next morning, because by this time it was boy and powder. So, and there was legitimate people that owned businesses and worked and stuff like that. It's not all just,
junkies, right. Yeah. It was functional addicts as well.
Right. And so we had an apartment building, and we owned we rented out most of the apartment building over on Wayne Avenue.
Y'all own it?
No, we rented out like all the floors on the bottom.
Yeah.
And
he probably had no money to buy the whole building.
We didn't want to buy the building. We were just trying to use it up. But it was just like I said, looking back, like there was so much that I would have done different to make it be more worth my while, I guess you could say.
What would you consider your legendary mistake?
I don't know. I don't think there was any. You know what I'm saying? I didn't make a mistake. Somebody told on us. As far as that, I mean, I could say that my mistake may have been even getting involved in that lifestyle in the first place, but I don't give it back because it's made me who I am.
Exactly. As I say, it's little seasons that pepper your steak. You know what I mean? For a year. So
D,
and I had fun. I loved my life. I was a hustler. I got respect in the streets. I was like one of the only.
Did you realize you had made that much money? Not at all, did you?
Spending, didn't have to ever look at tags. We could rent. We could buy. I was paying my mom and dad's bills. I had my dad. My dad act like he didn't. He's probably on here too. But he used to act like he didn't know what I was doing. But I had no job. How I'm doing all, So
right.
But it was just, and there was this girl that worked for me. Her name was Tanya. She worked for me for about a year and a half. And I rented out a spot. She lived there. She didn't have to pay anything, bills, nothing. I bought food for the house, everything. Gave her like 6 caps in the morning so she could be well and get high all day. She was cool, you know what I'm saying? And she was like my friend after a while,
Yeah.
She just got high, so what?
Right.
And so I went to Marysville, and then my ex-husband got out of prison, and he started taking over what I was doing with her. They had to move to a different house on Huffman, and I called home.
So wait, I'm confused. So he was sentenced to 30 years?
This was before that. You
Okay,
know, we was in and out of prison before that too.
Okay.
So, but I called home. My dad said, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "No, there ain't no chairs in this motherfucker. We just got to stand on the phone." So he said, "Well, Tanya's dead because somebody robbed her. They beat her up. So they took $70,000 and like 5 ounces of heroin. They took the dogs and everything
Out of your house?
Mm-hmm.
They killed her?
And they killed her. They beat her up so bad, and she was like a dude. She was like this little husky little girl, but she was a dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she had a boyfriend, and there was some weird stuff behind that afterwards. And I really think her boyfriend might have did it. But anyway, it ended up being one of my ex-husband's family members that went to prison for doing that. He robbed her, and and she died. And like her family, I was in Marysville, and her family hates me. Like they won't talk to me. They said it's my fault, and that's not the. And then when Shabazz got killed, his family hated me and blamed me. Even his sisters to this day, they hate me. That wasn't my fault. Like I was around, but how is that my? I don't know, but
Shabazz
I carry that guilt, a lot with me.
Yeah. So they went in. You was in Marysville at the time when Tanya got killed.
Yeah.
But this is when, but
that was on 3rd Street. Like we was, I had a house on 3rd Street, on
Right.
East 3rd Street,
right. But
and she had
how are they blaming? And I don't want to get too much into that to on a bicker side, but you're in prison at this point.
Yeah, I guess they think, every when something happens, people want somebody to blame.
They
Absolutely.
It helps them to cope with it, and it helps them to come to a place within them where they feel better. So, I mean, if that's what it takes, then hey, it is what it is.
Right.
I guess because I had been supplying her, taking care of her, and whatever. But if she was homeless before I met her. That's why I took her in and knew that she would be good, so yeah.
And I mean, and to give more weight to what you mean, saying, I mean, like we deal with that up here at the shop. You know what I'm saying? Like we deal with picture tees of people who pass, so they'll come in here and be mean and agitated with the, you know what I'm saying, like the people that's actually helping them. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that's just native in people. I mean, if you are, another place this happens to kind of lighten the mood is fast food restaurants. Because people are hangry when you go to fast food restaurants. So those people get the most spice because you hangry. Like,
yeah.
So just imagine this, if you lost someone that's loved one and you have no one to blame because accountability really falls on the person that made that choice.
Absolutely,
ultimately.
yeah.
So with that aside, you getting arrested in court, right? So it completely caught you off guard. I mean, you probably drove to court that day. So
Oh my God, and I had dope in my glove box and everything. So I had to call my dad because they didn't. Just for some reason, I had to park somewhere around the corner because there was no parking spot.
Thank God, because you parked that meter, you would have.
So I had to call my dad and do code on the phone, like in the glove box, So yeah, him and I can think my son went and.
Dad, a real one, man.
Yeah.
So that day, when they come and they arrest you that day, what do they say that they're actually come to you? They arrest you. Do they tell you what you're being charged with in court?
Well, they just arrested me in the courtroom, and they said, I think they probably told me, I don't know, I was probably by then, and at that point I was taking a lot of pills, I was getting high, you know what I'm saying?
Was your ex-husband in court? Did he see you be arrested, or it was after they took him out?
I think when he was going out, they was blocking me in, you know what I'm saying, so that I wouldn't leave. But I'm sure, it all happened probably simultaneously.
Damn.
So.
And so when you get arrested, well, I know you might have been high that day, but do you remember how you felt in that moment?
I was crying. That's all I could do was cry because I was like, this ain't cool. Because
was you already like being accused or part of the case? Like how were they investigating you in the?
Yeah, I was his co-defendant.
You was his co-defendant, but you wasn't in. Did you go have a separate court case after?
Because he went to trial and I wasn't going to trial.
Right.
Not yet, anyway. I didn't get to that point.
And had you been charged?
She probably was indicted already, and
Like, did you know that you
out-
was under indictment? Did you know that you
I knew
was
it
charged?
was coming. It just wasn't supposed to come right then. They was allowing me to stay out.
Yeah.
Because my lawyer made it like that. You know what I'm saying?
You was on a signature bond kind of thing. Yeah.
And your
It was
lawyer
just
didn't
a
know
deal,
that you was
know what
gonna
I'm
be
saying? Like,
arrested.
hey, she's cool. She's not a flight risk. Let's just keep her. You know, she's all right. And that was that. And then I think, like, you know, after he got arrested, after he went to
He
got
said,
sentenced.
let's get to this next part of the business, basically.
Yeah.
So what did you actually serve time for?
Conspiracy to distribute blah 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 blah. So it was heroin, crack, powder, pills, marijuana, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I was supposed to do the maximum was 40 years. And
How'd you feel knowing that you could be possibly doing 40 years?
so I remember going to the county, and the county I went to so it was different. I didn't go to the pod. I went to it wasn't rollover either. It's in between but they had
The dorms?
The dorms.
Okay.
And they put me in the middle, in the front, on the fucking top. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, everybody's looking at me because they knew me and they knew what I was there for. I just got up there and went under my blanket and just cried for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I couldn't.
Pressing your rack.
That's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I don't know. It was, that's hard, you know what I mean? Especially, I was looking at 14 to 40 years.
So, man, like, you was hustling at a high level, but you was also a mother. Like, how did you manage that and balance that, like, with the kids and
So,
stuff?
like I was telling him earlier, like, I had my kids with me. I had my kids with me in the spots. They used to ride around with me and make sales. I used to take them to football and cheerleading and meet people in the parking lot out somewhere or
Drug dealing was just your job, and you was a regular mom still.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I couldn't stop. I never had time. Like, if we wanted to go somewhere or do something, I could not have my phone with me. It was just, I was addicted to, I wasn't even addicted to the money. I was addicted to that lifestyle and to that. And I think a lot had to do with, like earlier in my story where I said that I was bullied and stuff like that, I was powerless. I was nothing. I was nobody. They made me feel like shit. So now I'm at a point in my life where I gained that power back and I got the respect from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I could be who I wanted to because on one side, I don't look like a drug dealer. I could go in the store, I could go to my kid's school and be a normal person, or, somewhere I can be articulate, I can be ghetto, I can be ratchet, whatever. I'm a chameleon, so I fit in everywhere, and I don't know, the kids were just a part of it. They got whatever they wanted. I used to kind of use them for an excuse. I want my kids to have everything. I'm gonna pay for it. They had all the Jordans. They used to call me like, "Hey, your Jordans are in," and I'd go get pairs for everybody. They used to call me Mrs. Jordan at Cohan's or at
Devereaux's?
No, Hans.
Oh, at Hans.
Yeah, the little Chinese lady. She'd be like, "Oh, Mrs. Jordan, come on in." So, it was like that, and I loved it. I loved the feeling of being that bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Importance, like.
So you facing 40 years, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and so you eventually got sentenced. What the sentencing day? Did you have an idea? Had your lawyer already told you, like, this is what you're probably gonna end up doing, or you just
Like
didn't
draft
really know
night.
for
It's
real?
like, yeah, you probably looking at this.
I mean, we were trying, you know what I'm saying? And my lawyer is not a federal lawyer, but I trusted him. It's the Carl Lewis I was telling you about. He's not a federal lawyer, but I was like, you got this. He's a beast, you know what I'm saying? I loved him, and
Did you just go ahead and plead out, or you took it to the box?
so I didn't go to trial, but I went in there and I had this whole speech written out because I'll forget if I go in there, you know what I'm saying? I didn't make a plea deal per se, but I went in there on sentencing day and just was, and he
Just explaining.
He gave me 8 years. He gave me 8 years, and he said, I see the potential in you, and you can do great things. And I'm like,
Is this Judge Rice?
Yeah.
That just gave me chills right there.
Mm-hmm.
and my kids were sitting there, and my dad.
Yeah.
And so even my landlord went on the stand and talked good about me. My landlord, my pastor, everybody that was in my life that knew I was a good person, because I am a good person. I just did some bad shit.
Look at the pup looking at you. He loves you. She loves you. She looking like, Mom, you all right?
I think all good. Yeah.
So,
that's your service animal.
So that day, so he elected to give you 8 years instead of the full 40.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So did you feel relieved to get those 8 years, or was you upset that you, or was you?
I was relieved to get the shit over with. I was in county jail for 2 years.
Yes.
They kept on bringing me back and forth, saying you're getting sentenced today. Then they would postpone it, and then they wouldn't tell me, and it was just a bunch of.
When you saw that time waiver, they could play with
you.
So
did the 2 years in the county count as time towards the 8 years?
Yeah. And I was in Butler County. We had single cells. Well, 2 people to a cell. We had TV in there, and people used to come up to me. So Butler County's a little bit different. Montgomery County, there was not people that I knew. Mm-hmm. Every once in a while, somebody might come in, but it was different. So they would come in and, hey, do you want to? Can I talk to you about something? Can I ask you something? Will you pray with me? Do you want to do Bible stuff? I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm looking at 40 years in prison. I don't want to do none of this shit.
You were here doing a weekend, and I'm here fighting for my life, and you here doing your little weekend. Man, listen, get out of my face.
And plus, something else that you had in the back of your mind, like your co-defendant just got 30.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they hanging 40 over your head, so that was a real possibility.
Yes.
30 was a definite possibility, just to be equal, fair.
Well, this was a little different because there was somebody that overdosed and died,
mm-hmm.
And they tried to put that on us, and they put it on him.
So it wasn't about you. How did they split it up to say it was him, because they actually had him as making the
even
sale?
To this day, Judge Rice will say oh, he had you doing this, and I'm like, you gonna give me my props? I was out here hustling.
I had him. SMED, run that SMED clip. She was a boss. She was my leader. Run that clip of my interview. SMED said I was in control. Are you kidding me?
No, but that is a funny point. But
I guess because I'm a girl.
But ultimately, right? I want people to understand is just because. You can't judge the person's trajectory based off of the decision they made at that point in time. Because like you said before, there are always these mitigating factors, such as you were a person that was bullied. You finally found a place. You finally found your tribe. You had a way of sustaining your life force. You were taking care of others. It fed into what you wanted to be, was a nurturer. You got to look out for who look out for you the most, which is your dad, you know what I'm saying, your family structure, your kids. Mm-hmm. You were being everything you are today. Right, I remember, and this is related but not related. I remember being in high school and getting in trouble for the same things everybody respect me for today.
Yeah.
Right, I'm in here be loud, laughing, joking, and now you feel we getting paid off of it. Mm-hmm. But back in school, it's no, shut up, be quiet, wait till your turn to speak. I'm more interested in you, teacher. Shut up, let me teach the damn class. Right. So to me, I think this is one of those things I want to catalog. Bookmark in my brain to use you as a story. This ain't even we ain't there yet, but I want to tell you it takes tremendous courage for you to tell your true story, to be because a lot of people are going to downplay stuff, but you're telling it in its rawest form. But I want people to understand it. It's not oh yeah, she should have been doing the same time as the other person because she was that. I'm saying your upside was bigger in my uneducated opinion. I feel that, what I'm saying, with what you're doing today is the testament of what you've been through.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I don't want to be off.
As he's counting his money.
I don't want to be off. This ain't no disrespect to Fresh, okay? But when I seen D with anybody else, I automatically counted her as the person who was
up.
Well, she was showing them the way.
Right.
Cause I had already now look, I wasn't in a relationship with D like at all. But like I said, like our friendship, our coolness, like she showed me the way. So that's anybody else in that situation. Yeah. I always counted to say like, okay,
you under the wing,
you under D's wing.
But I did that a lot. That's part of my codependency.
Right.
I pick somebody.
Yeah.
That's not so that I can. And it makes me feel better about myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is fucked up. It's some fucked up shit. You know
it's not. To me, it's a mitigating factor. It really is a mitigating factor when those things should be taken into account when judges are sentencing people. That's why I joke. That's why I vote Angelina Jackson for Judge Common. Please make sure you gotta go out there and vote November 9th. Because I really believe that we should have, people who understand what we're going through.
I don't know if you can, like, it's such like you gotta be there to understand this thing. But can you say the very person that might be selling somebody dope is like helping them in a way? I don't know if it can, because it's like, damn, you sell like for example, McDonald's. If they gave you a free burger, we all know that the food is trash, but you're hungry, and they're giving you something to help you in that moment, even if it is trash food. Like, so you see kind of like the picture that I'm painting, like that's my idea of D. For everybody that she was out there hustling to, for whatever reason, if they needed her help for something else, she would have did it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's hard to describe. I hope that I did well with my example, but
rather than somebody I think testament today is the fentanyl crisis, right? She's been a person not putting fentanyl in it. Like, you could have came to her and got it. You'd have been all right. You've been fine. She just there to provide you your aspirin when you need it. It's
right.
not gonna be aspirin cut with something that's gonna kill you.
But man, from what I'm understanding about fentanyl is from the things that I've heard lately.
As he's counting his money up.
Not from that.
Listen, man, you can't be counting your money as you talking this right now.
First of all, I don't fuck around with drugs. Drugs is the worst fucking thing ever. And anything that deals with drugs, I'm cool.
Self-stock's not dope. 8 o'clock.
I work my ass off. I fucking screen print 1,000,000 hours a day by my fucking self. Well, y'all niggas think I'm counting money. Nigga, I'm working for that shit. Like, working hard as fuck. Factual. No drugs. Factual. Ever. The feds could fucking follow me for 25 years, goddamn it, and they gonna understand that I'm doing my job, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? And I fucking and on another level, let me take this shit to another level. I respect police officers. Yes. I respect the hard work that they do. Yes. I respect law enforcement, and I respect the whole fucking justice system as what it is. And it's not perfect, but I do respect that. And I respect the evil in fucking destroying a community with drugs. Mm-hmm. And I blame music, I blame fucking record labels, and I blame these drug companies who I feel like are actually marketing their drugs, especially these new prescription drugs that they got out. They're marketing that shit through rappers. Absolutely. And the fucking rappers that are rapping about that shit for free, they are house niggas, fucked up, and destroying their people to be cool and not even getting paid from the people who are there actually promoting their product. Mm-hmm. So you can't come to me about no motherfucking drugs. Like, man, I get up every morning, man, you know what I'm saying? And I do memorial t-shirts. And you might see me say, start your own business, your good ideas will work. Every day, 5 a.m. That's to counterbalance the fucking promotion of drugs and foolishness. Man, we got 1 million fucking things to sell. Everything in this room is for sale. Everything that you see is for sale. Yeah. But we pick the one fucking thing that's illegal and fucking like ride with that when we don't got to do that. You know what I'm saying? So start your own business, man. You don't got sell stocks, not dope, or sell whatever, not dope. Cut grass, not dope.
There you go.
Like, whatever you got to do, man, like, you know, you can figure out another way and you promote that just as hard. The money might be a little bit slower, but the longevity in it, it'll work out for you. Like you'll make a lot more money selling drugs real quick, but you'll go to prison a lot faster. Somebody will kill you a lot faster, and you'll be away from your family a lot faster. Where if you just do little by little, you know, and just have a better life. So yes, I'll count a fucking bankroll every day on the Legendary People podcast, but I worked for that shit. I did legit shit for that shit. I made shirts to help somebody promote their business for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't sell shirts. I sell shit to help you leverage your business. I sell some kind of therapy to people. If somebody die, yeah, you call it a shirt, but I call it therapy. I call it an expression of love. Mm-hmm. So that's me. That's my thing. And that's my clap back to the fucking me counting my money. Yes. I'm going to count up every fucking day from a hard working day, from me promoting properly every fucking day of my life.
And it started from it started from the dope, and you made something of that though. I'm saying this too.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna tell you. With my situation, drugs was the sacrifice that I made in order for me to be able to have a business. Right? I refuse to sell drugs anymore. I went to the workhouse. My time in the workhouse, I had a cellmate named Heavy. And do you remember Heavy? Heavy knew you. Heavy knew you, D, because I told him about you, right?
Everybody knew D.
Well, anyway, this bro named Heavy, he had been to prison before, and I was just in the workhouse. And I told him that I had hustled before, but at this time I had a CD out, which was Ohio Coalition. And I was in there like reading Roots and reading books, and I was like philosophizing with all the niggas in jail. You know what I'm saying? I was street, but I was still, it was calling me something that had to do with like smart type shit. Yeah, like they was, but my bro was like, my nigga, you're going to keep selling drugs and you're going to end up in prison for real, not this little bullshit. Then you're going to be fucked up. And at that moment, I was like, I'm never in my life dealing with that shit again. And I prayed to the Most High. Sacrifice is how you get whatever you want. You got to give up what you like to get what you love. I prayed to the Most High and told him I will never deal with that fucking shit ever again in my life. And not long after that, I started working at Dash Communications.
Hey.
Working there. And it was fiends around. The devil was like full of temptation. My brother was there. He got on with some dope. He was working right there with me. He would go out, make little plays, come back in the store counting money. Mind you, this is my brother that I used to put on. And he was going out making sales and coming back in the door counting money. And I knew that I could do that too. But I didn't do it. And I really feel like that sacrifice, that promise that I made to the Most High, my covenant, that I said I was cool, man, he turned it around and then gave me a store. Like, I didn't pay any money for my store. I never had drugs money and bought my store. I never turned drug money into a store money. Right. Any of that. Right. Any of that. So the sacrifice. And the same thing, y'all don't know this about D. But let me tell you something. Like, she might scoff at what she's doing right now, but I was there when she got out of jail and she told me what she wanted to do. And she's doing that right motherfucking now. Like, nothing short of what she's doing re-entry. That's what she wanted to do. Right. Now, she might want it to expand more than what it is. She's still ambitious for more. But I just see all of the, and I told her this before, like, I see the progress in her dream. And the funny thing about a dream is, like, man, we dream, we want shit all the time, but when we get it, we already seen ourselves in that position, so it ain't really nothing that major to us. You know what I'm saying? But for her, like, everything that she wanted to do, the Most High has delivered to her.
For sure.
So maybe she might need to, and I don't know if you happy or unhappy where you at, okay? But I'm unhappy where I'm at, so I'm speaking from my point of view.
But is there ever a time when we fully satisfied?
I don't think so.
No, it's called a pursuit of happiness for a reason. You never capture happiness. It's always a pursuit of it.
Well, but that's what I was saying, to have an attitude of gratitude. Like, Like, for example, the lady asked me, this is what the lady asked me at the bank today. Remember I was
Here
trying
we
to
go,
tell
here
you
we go,
guys?
yeah.
The lady said, how's your business going?
Okay.
I said, my business has already done so well, I don't give a fuck what it does in the future.
That's hard.
I've already
That's
did
hard.
it. Anything else that I get now is just
Extra.
icing on the cake. If I could go fucking broke right now today and I don't got shit else, I still did good for what I expected.
That's love.
Like I said, I got given this store with no high school diploma, with no college degree, with no nothing, and I parlayed this bitch for 23 years so far.
That's a stat.
What else can you say? And man, do you know all type of clientele, and all kind of people. I'm making shirts for some apostolic church right now. I'm making shirts for the county. I made shirts for Edwin C. Moses. I mean, goddamn, not Edwin C. Moses, but E.J. Brown. And I gave 100 shirts. I gave 100 shirts to Charity Adams for charity. Gave it to him. I had a basketball program and we the number one team in the world and won all of. So what I'm saying is I have to hold on from all the shit that I want to get and give thanks to the Most High for what he gave me already in order for me to be eligible for anything else.
There are no roadblocks on the righteous path, and also that caterpillar has to sacrifice himself to become a butterfly.
Man, my sis right here that you looking at, look, man. That is God. I'm telling you right now. Bro, I don't care what she cooks up in her mind. That shit coming through. She gonna create that. Your, and you watching this, only problem is your dream ain't big enough. You hit every goal that you want. Okay, but you aim too low and hit. You don't aim too high and miss.
Right.
So where she might say, I want fucking be what is it? Reentry. She wants to work in reentry. Well, she works in reentry. Yeah. Okay, but she still got the capacity to do so much more that when she get it, she like, damn, maybe I should have asked for her. You ever did that, D? Make a sale, somebody ask you how much you gonna charge them for some shit, and then well, we should ask for more. We should charge more.
But I just did that this week.
Tony Ruby in this thing, man. My big bro, man. Real goat talk. Real stuff, man.
So
I made shirts for Tony Ruby. Tony Ruby said you made shirts for your big bro.
For sure.
Man, Tony Ruby is another guy. And now Tony probably ain't gonna like. He probably ain't gonna like me calling him that. But my understanding of he is a son of the Most High. Like, for example, everybody, all my children that I beget, all of them are SMEDs. Tony is a son of the Most High. He is a leader, man.
You know God people when you meet them, bro. You know
he's a fan. He's in the God family. Like,
you know it.
That's
for sure.
That's my brother, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Like Tony to check in on our podcast. Like, we don't need nobody watching except for Tony.
A legend.
That's enough.
A legend check in.
That's enough. We got D in here, man. Like, bro, we don't know the majesty that is in here right now. Like,
we know. Me and you know. We know.
Like, but D is such a she won't admit it.
Value,
she won't admit who she is for the sake of like not being a fool. Right. Like anytime like I can't sit up here and call myself anything good. That's for somebody else to do. And I know my potential. D knows her potential. So if she calls herself good, she like, yeah, but I could be better. So to call yourself good in a way is kind of like faking. You know what I'm saying? But for me to look at you, I don't got to tell you. And I know I do. I like kind of like went into my observation, but nah, but you don't know her, man. Like, I ain't saying that.
I'm still not done, bro.
I'm not. I know. Hold on. I didn't. I said that in a way that what.
So I can let you know. like,
Well, hold on.
I got appreciation.
I
bro.
know what you're saying, but let me stop you for
You
a second.
don't know what I'm saying. I ain't said it yet.
What I'm trying to tell you is, bro, I didn't mean to say like you don't know her, okay? I wasn't saying like downing you
Nah,
about
it's
it,
all good,
but I'm just talking about like this is somebody that I fucking love like right now, and so I'm getting this shit off my chest. That's the only thing that I'm saying. Like personally, not like you do research, you know what I'm saying, and that's so good. You know shit that I don't know through your research, like intricate details. But I'm telling you from just
experience is different from research.
right.
For sure.
Right, and it's mandatory for me to get this off for D.
For sure.
Cause she is like, earlier she said I'm a good person. Like, for sure. For sure, bro. Like, man, she will help the lowest member of the human family.
So,
Jesus loves me more than anything. Thanks, y'all. But we really all came a long way. And guess what? Y'all podcast is Dayton, Ohio's best. That's T. Rude,
thank
man.
you, man. Thank you, man.
Man, love you, big bro, man. Go ahead, P. Go ahead.
So
Chop
I wanted
it
to
up.
ask you, because I read a bunch of your posts, right? What are some of the important things, like the small things people can do for people that's incarcerated? One of the things you
Nice.
named was writing a letter. Like a letter can turn somebody's whole day around.
You was looking at some old stuff. But yeah, like being locked up, if you don't get called at mail call, you're like, well, damn, you know, mail call is important. I don't even know if they have mail call no more because they started doing the computers when I was leaving.
Yeah.
So everything is on there. But again, going there and seeing it in bold print means that you got a message. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, communication and knowing that people care about you still, because everybody, you know, all the people that I didn't tell on, all the people that were my friends out here, that was done. And I didn't really care though. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to weed myself out of all that bullshit. I was drained. I was tired. You know, I was selling dope since I was like 25 years old. And at that point, I was, like 35, 36 years old. So I was just tired, you know.
So, you know, like one person that held you down and his mom held you down passed recently, which is Terry the Tip Man, right? So,
Oh, God.
yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm sorry. So, like, what was that like, you know what I'm saying, having him as a friend of 30 years plus, you know, him holding you down while you were locked up? What were some of the ways he showed that he was still there with you and his mom?
It's so crazy because Terry was just a dude that did tent. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Terry was my friend, and Terry was nothing but, he smoked crack, he drank, you know what I'm saying? But he was like the coolest dude, and he would do whatever I asked him to do, you know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like he was like that with everybody. I feel like it was, you know, he had a girlfriend at one time, and me and her went to the club. You know, it was like that type shit. You know, his mom, I love his mom. I would go in there. She hated everybody. She's like 80 years old. She'd be like, get the fuck off my porch and get that shit, you know. But I come and she's like, what's up, crazy, you know, and she loved me. So I felt like I was a part of, you know, that family. And me and my boyfriend now, we had a friend that he ran from the PO, but he had handcuffs on. And so I called Terry. I said, can you get these handcuffs off, dude? Of course Terry can do whatever. Terry did it. You know, he had whatever tool, and he got the handcuffs off. But
Well, he got away handcuffed. Hey, that dude a legend. Whoever he is, he a legend. What, man? You hear this? That's the best thing I've ever heard in this podcast. No. I mean, no. Every time I see somebody running around with handcuffs, I'm like, why are you running, bro? They gonna catch you. What you gonna do? Like,
and then they called us, you know what I'm saying? Because, they called my dude. But that was his friend, so, but Terry would do anything, you know what I'm saying? He really didn't fix cars, but if I need him to do something, I had a flat tire recently, and I called Terry, and he got to where I was at, and he helped me, you know what I'm saying? And when I heard, I saw that on Facebook is how I found out. Somebody said, oh, all right.
ain't that the worst to find out
I
somebody
was
you
like,
love is...
you gotta be kidding me. I was like, this can't be right, you know what I'm saying? And they said he was in the house for a couple days or whatever. I'm like, oh my God. So I just got a truck a couple days ago, and I need the front windows tinted. And it's the first time since Terry. He's been doing my tint for all that time, for 30 years.
Brought it back.
Every every car I've ever had. So it was just, it's hard. But somebody like that, like, didn't ask for shit, didn't care about nothing in life except, he didn't even have a fucking cell phone, bro. You know what I'm saying? He didn't care about nothing except drinking every day, putting tint on people's window, doing their music, all that shit. So it was just cool.
So like another friend that I saw was interested in your story as well. So like you had a friend when you was locked up who was on Killer Couples, Donda Munda.
Donna Moon.
And tell us about her story, because so she was on Killer Couples.
Yeah.
So that's a story that's kind of like where they do reenactments. So it's like a documentary reenactment.
But she was on there too. They showed, they actually showed like parts of her court and stuff. Donna was cool. Like
what was her story?
She married this rich doctor. I think she was from Connecticut. She married this rich ass doctor. Like, when I say rich, I mean like million, billions. But she felt like, I guess he was taking care of her and stuff, and then she felt inadequate. She wanted to do something for herself. So she went to nursing school. Then she started getting addicted to something, and he sent her to rehab. When she was in rehab, she met this little black dude, younger dude, and started dating when they left rehab. And she was buying him all this stuff and buying him cars, Lamborghinis, and this is how rich, The doctor noticed that the money was going and kind of wondered what was going on. And they say that,
allegedly,
she planned it to kill the doctor off. He offered her $3 million just to, I'll give you $3 million, just get the fuck out of here. She was greedy and didn't want the $3 million. She wanted more than that. So her and the guy, so the doctor, Donna Munda, and the mom were going to Thanksgiving dinner with the family or something on the Connecticut Turnpike, and the guy was behind them, and Donna pulled over like she had car trouble, and he went on the side and shot the doctor and killed him.
Wow.
And she acted like, I don't know what happened, but they say that, they had planned it all out, and he's out, and she's got life, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she was cool, like, you can't judge people, like I think you said earlier, you can't judge people by the cover, because.
I said that.
Okay, get your point.
SMED judge everybody. He don't care.
But, I'm going to tell you.
There's a Bible scripture that says,
if I would have
it's
never,
joy for the just to do judgment.
if I would have never known what she did, in prison especially, like, I met people, best people I ever met in my life, and then you find out what they did, like, that's weird. That don't even seem like them, because a lot of times, one of the girls was one of the people that put the baby in the microwave and fed it to the
China Arnold.
No, this was in federal prison. She was from D.C., but she was on PCP, and she don't even remember that shit. But I'm sure she's traumatized by it, knowing now that she did that. But everybody.
I got a friend named M who's doing life right now. He literally didn't take his medicine one day. Like, I met him while I'm in East 3 South, and you know what I'm saying, like in the dorms, and literally, like, he's one of the coolest bros you ever meet in your life. I mean, he literally, like, you come in there, he was like the, you know what I'm saying, like, he was the range dad, make sure everybody was straight. He was the porter, cleaned up, and he was like a person that you couldn't imagine him doing anything like that. Like, 20 seconds of your life is now your life forever.
Man.
Mental health is real.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that how mental health and addiction are connected. And what comes first? Are people addicted to drugs and then have mental health issues, or do they have that which makes them, so it's a hard thing to deal with. But everything happened for some reason. Something happened that caused people to do what they did,
And I want to give one quote. This is called a legendary quote. Before we get to the butterfly effect, is something you posted in 2013, right?
Oh.
To me, this shows no, seriously, because this proves who you truly are as a person. Because to me, I judge a person based off their actions, based off their words, based off how, like the energy I get from them. And what I get from you is nurturer. And in this post right here, like you actually reached out to Ellen DeGeneres.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember that?
Was it for? Tell me what it was.
Okay, so I'm gonna read it. You say in 2013, dear
Sell her
Ellen.
some crack.
What?
Dear Ellen, you want some crack? Not a plan. No. It say, dear Ellen, not sure where to write this. I just did 8 years in prison, and God has been so good to me, and I have given my life to Him. My church, Grace Outreach Ministries in Dayton, Ohio, is very small, about 30 members, and I would like so bad to help them to buy a church van. We are trying to expand, and it's so hard for my pastor, but he's a wonderful man of God and deserves a break. I'm praying that you can help us. Sincerely, your last name, Dayton, Ohio. So to me, even in your, you just came home from prison. You're not even thinking about yourself. You are a person that is a nurturer. You are a person that adds. You are a multiplier. You're a person who brings positivity to a situation, even when you probably couldn't have been straight. You just came home from prison. You know what I mean? So to me, that shows true character to me, and that fits what SMED says. So I ain't want to cut him short. I just didn't want it to get to the point so we can put it all to its full totality. I mean, we go to this thing on Legendary People podcast called the Butterfly Effect. Either something you said during the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found was truly profound and amazing. I mean, I go back to your grandfather, right? Your grandfather is something you remember of. He always gave you Oreo cookies, right? Oreo cookies. And then today you are, you bake, and it's ingrained in you where you want to give someone something sweet to make them feel good.
So you think because I ate them Oreo cookies I was a baker now?
I'm saying in the back of your psyche, it plays a role. Like, I'll give you qualifiers. I've interviewed over 300 people, right? So we've had on here TELLER Sebastian.
You're a chocolate Oreo.
And his sister.
Black on the inside.
Double stuff what you had, okay? One regular Oreo, right? Right. So we had him and his sister on here, right? One is an artist, one is a singer, but they both can do both because their mom could do both, right? So a lot of these things are passed down. Another thing I want to go to is interior decorating, right? Decorating is something you use your brain to figure out, configure it. You do that same thing when you masterfully make cakes. And then you talk about, your early stages of growing up, dogs and things like that. These things that play to now your bully and, things of that nature. I feel, what you've been through is only the testament. I mean, we've had Horace Gillette on here. We've had Tony Ruby Sr. You were kind of both of them, but with a Tina Shaw and a motherly influence into it all. And I feel that, I wasn't abreast to your story until today, but normally I don't get that deep in the stories if it's SMED, yo, let's do an interview today. I was glued to your story. Like I said, I know a lot more in here. I can bring up stuff like, I know when you got your first house. I can bring up when you first became a manager at Kroger's, and then so I want to ask you. So what's the difference between being a manager at Kroger's or being a manager on Gettysburg? So I'm telling you is I was completely stuck to your story because you are that legendary to me. Period. And what you've done in your past, it's just things that pepper your steak for the seasoned veteran you are today, because I feel that same way about myself. Because when you talk about, other people being sentenced and then, your words being like that, that's why I got chills when I said that. We both cried at the same point in time because I was in that same predicament before where I made that promise to God. When I got caught with guns and drugs at school, and I made a promise to covenant to God, say I'll never sell drugs ever again. He got me back in school. I graduated college, and then now all I do is help. All I do is serve. All I do is help other people. So I just want to say again, you're a legend. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So cool. So cool. That's that New York in there. Yeah, thank you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, because I don't.
So on the music side, I mean, you got EQ the Misfit on merch. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about the connection to EQ?
So it's my boyfriend's brother.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all not hip, get some Misfits. Misfit outfits, Misfit the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time for me to because I got a whole lot.
We can keep going.
Okay. Well, because I got my cake business, D's Cakes and Party Services. I quit my job at Kroger as a manager. I worked there for 5 years after I got out of prison, and I was like, fuck this, I can make my own money because I was good. They taught me how to ice a cake. I never did it in my life. Then I just got good at it, and I quit Kroger as making about, at that time, $18, $19 an hour. I stepped out on faith, and I was like, I'm good enough. I can do this on my own, so I did it. And 2017, I quit my job. I opened up D's Cakes and Party Services. I started working from home, and then there was another job opportunity that came in between. So then I did the cakes, and worked at Miami Valley Housing. I worked with homeless people, trying to help them, with resources and find housing and things like that. So I'm still doing the cakes. I got a lot of people in the city that get cakes from me and are like regular customers. I love it.
Just like the old days, huh?
And I feel like that too. I promise you that. I swear it's a hustle and it's in me. I don't know, I don't know. It's just, and I like it. And now just recently, within the last year or so, me and my boyfriend been doing the bullies, and I love them. Our bully kennel is Next Up Bully Gang, Dayton, Ohio.
Sure.
Our group, so our group's on here tagged.
Yeah, I reshared it in the group as well.
Okay, so it's Bully World Dayton, Ohio. I don't know, there's a lot of things, and there's hustling in that too, you know what I mean? And I like the dog, I love the dogs, so I want to take care of them. They're just like people, you know what I'm saying? This is my road dog, this is Chi-Chi, and
Hey, Chi-Chi was so nice to me outside. I walked over there, she was in the restroom, and then she dragged me all the way back. But, I mean, so, we like to ask our legend.
How did you get into doing the bullies though, D?
so when about let me see, 2 years ago, I just bought this house, my first house, legitimately.
Yeah.
Last year, about a year ago, last August. So we were in that house about a year. We used to live on Norman, and half a double, and we had 2 dogs. They were both pit bulls, not bullies. You know what I'm saying? But they were my dogs, and I loved them. One of them I had since I came home from prison, and the other one I had bought for my boyfriend because he said that he wanted his own dog to train his own self. He don't want my leftover dog.
Yeah.
So I got him a dog, and we had those dogs. His dog got pregnant on accident. She was outside going to the bathroom. He opened the door, and she stuck to somebody, so she was pregnant. One night she had her babies. I helped her have some of her babies or whatever, and we didn't know much about the dog, about breeding or nothing. It wasn't on purpose, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I thought I helped her, and we were like, okay, we got puppies. I woke up and she was dead. I think she had more puppies stuck in her birth canal or something. Now looking back and knowing what I know now, it just seems like it would have been a lot different. Now we do C-sections, you know what I mean? It's a whole different story. So, but she was dead. Her puppies, I tried to save them, and I ended up taking them to ARC or something like that for them to adopt them out and stuff and help them stay alive. But both of our dogs died that same day. The other one, I don't know what happened. She was on the couch asleep, and I looked. Usually if I'm coming downstairs, she'll, she didn't move, and I'm like, what the fuck? So her name was Fortune, and there was some throw up on the floor, and I'm thinking somebody poisoned her outside or something.
Yeah.
That was a time when a lot of people were doing that in the neighborhood. So that day, we had to put them both in the swimming pool, and we carried them to the place, and oh my God, I was so hurt. Like, it's just, they're like kids, you know what I mean?
You're right.
And after that, we kept watching Illinois Kennels on YouTube. We kept watching the dog shows. I mean, we always were, but we just weren't, like into the dog shows. And I was like, I gotta get a dog. I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? I need a dog. So we went to Illinois. We got our dog, first dog. His name is Cuzzo. We got him in Illinois.
That's a good name.
And he's so after that we just started getting it. We said, if we're gonna do it right. So we started getting dogs that were worth money and had papers. You know what I mean? We ain't getting these pit bulls no more. And it just kind of evolved from there. And I started getting involved in the bully community, knowing, the people. They're teaching me a lot because there are some people that have been in this game for a really long time.
How old are bullies? Because I don't never remember seeing bullies or hearing about bullies when we were kids coming up. Huh?
Are British Bulldogs bullies or not?
American bullies? No. There's somewhere down the line, like I think there's some that are bred like that. I don't know the whole history, but
they are a newer breed of dog, though.
There's a lot of newer stuff going on.
There is. Like, these dogs wasn't around when we was kids. It's not a bulldog.
Well, it's the same thing when it comes to marijuana, right? Like the weed we smoke today.
Yeah.
Or what we allegedly smoke today legally.
But we talking...
Because, like, they do different strands of that. So, like, I mean, if you breed certain, like, pit bulls, you can breed a certain type of pit bull.
Right, I'm just asking, like, when did Bully step on the scene? I understand
I
how
don't
the
know
dog
when,
is probably
but
mad.
I know we got involved like a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to say it's been a long time, but people just weren't hip to it. Now everybody's doing it, so everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that everybody's jumping on
Because
board.
I had dogs when I was a kid. Like, we had pit bulls, boxers. Like, my father bred dogs my whole life. Like, we had 7, 8 dogs at a time in kennels, and we would breed them and everything.
Yeah.
So
But-
you just made me think of something that I really want to talk about real quick before we get out of here, which is your birthday shout out, right? Because it made me think of that when Chim talk about the dog peeing in his eye. He said it was your dog. So now,
But
so-
no, that didn't happen.
I'm being silly, but what I'm saying is like talk about the birthday tribute that you got from.
Right. So, man, I had the most amazing birthday tribute, man. My babe, she put together, reached out to people who she knows I really love and care about, you know what I'm saying, and had them damn near just tell me, you know what I'm saying, how they feel about me or just giving me a birthday shout out. And it was real cool, man. Peanut and Micah, they did a whole damn 30-minute movie skit to just tell me happy birthday, which was the best shit ever, man. Like, I really loved it. And then she had just a medley of people, man. Marlon Shackelford, she had D on there, she had Val, she had my nephew, she had my sons, my daughters, my brother, like just a bunch of people that's like just beautiful people that I admire, respect, and all of that, all say happy birthday to me. Well, D was on there last, and like, I literally cried watching this stuff, but D just brought the shit home, man, because she just made me feel like she really cared about me. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt the love, and it was a great thing, man. That was a beautiful birthday gift. Yeah. Man, shout out to my baby.
For sure, man.
Because, man, right now, it ain't that I got everything, but it's right now, like, bro, we don't got the fucking money to be going out buying all this different shit and going on trips for birthdays and everything else. And, bro, she found a way to bring me joy without. And it made me understand, like, bro, all I really care about is my family. Like, she did a photo shoot with my grandsons. That was super hard. I just posted a picture of the story of me and my grandson, man, we locked up giving each other dap on a picture, and both of my grandsons. Like, that was amazing. Then breakfast with my grandsons, and then like the video tribute was so fire. Like, I'm rested on my birthday. That's what I really care about right now, is just the amount of rest that I can get. And so we rest and we just watch it. She said, hold on, we gotta watch this on YouTube. She done screencasted some shit. I see Peanut and Micah. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? It was so funny, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit was just like, it was like super hard, man. It was so cool. And then I watched that whole thing. She said, hold on, I got one more for you. And then she come on there, like, she was, well, my babe was first.
Okay.
And she just chopping it up with me, just saying, like, babe, you know, me and you can stay on the phone forever. Like, right now, I could call Marmar and we could talk on the phone until I get home. And we'll talk on the phone until I get home, until I'm, like, walking upstairs in the room.
Yeah, like.
And I don't do nothing but just
hear your voice echoing in the phone.
I don't do nothing but just fuck with her and play with her so much. And she just be like accepting my shit, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so cool, man. Like, she, not only does she accept it, like, she fires me up to keep going, like, more, encouraging me, egging me on, laughing at my dumbass jokes. But she, like, genuinely gets them,
and
though.
You know what? And what I told her, because I made her cry too, because
Yeah.
I was like, because I'm gonna cry saying it, but because I know, like, you've been through some bullshit.
Yeah.
All your baby mom, you know, all that shit.
For sure.
And I told her, I was like, I'm glad he finally found somebody. You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
take care of him and that
Right.
gives him what he deserves.
Man.
You know?
Man, just, and what she gives me is just peace, man. Like, women don't understand the value of giving that bro just some peace. And, like, man, just encouragement.
Yeah.
she knows I care about something, she down with it. She gonna figure out a way. If I ask her to help me with it, she gonna help me. Like right now, for real, if I was like, babe, come on up here, let's screen print some shirts tonight, she gonna come up here and help me. She got her own location inside of this store. Like, I never felt comfortable with anyone enough to actually do something like that. Like, work with the person who you with. Like, that's a big deal, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't want to make this too much about. But that was a beautiful birthday tribute that she did. And D closed it out, man, with the headliner. And she just, man, that was the best thing ever, bro. So I love both of you guys,
Thanks,
man. Thank y'all for that shout out. That was major.
And lastly, before we leave here, I want you to say something to Judge Rice.
I just talked to him today. Like, so I feel like
Well, publicly.
Judge Rice is like my second dad, I think. You know,
That's right.
People don't know. So Judge Rice was my sentencing judge. When I came home from prison, I went to a halfway house, and my probation officer came and said, "Hey, we got this program. You want to get 18 months off of your supervision, which was 10 years." I had 10 years supervision after I did the 8 years. So, hell yeah, I'm going. Give me something off. Went to this program. It ended up being a lot more than what I bargained for. So I was the first graduate of the first. This was the first re-entry group ever that they had in this program, so I was the first graduate of that program. And Judge Rice was a whole nother person. Like, he's such a caring, giving, like, he really wants to help everybody. He'll go to the West Side with us without, like somebody else like him might have some people watching him or guarding him or whatever. He just goes and kicks it. We go speak at the prisons and, just a lot. He'll do whatever for anybody, I can call him at home if I need to, it's a great relationship. And now I'm a drug and alcohol counselor at Miami Valley Recovery. And, it's so ironic, like the biggest dope dealer I ever knew to the person now trying to advocate for people
to get off drugs.
Not even, it is what it is, but I want to help the people that want the help, because it's so different now. You know what I mean? People are just dying. It's not even just being addicted. It's dying. And
Death sentence, literally.
Period. And I like y'all said, I care. You know what I'm saying? And who better to help the people out of the shit that we came from than the people that been through the shit themselves? You know what I mean? So they trust me. The clients like me. They know that I've been through it, so they're more willing to talk and to do what I suggest, because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And if I need anything from Judge Rice or anybody in that circle, I just have to call him and, but I'm going to try to get him on here so that.
Oh, please. Oh, absolutely. Judge Rice, please come in, bro. We're going to treat you so great. We're going to royalty, okay? Say what we treat. So me and SMED is going to get this legendary time machine, right? So it's not a real thing yet. We're saving up to get it, guys. You guys want to donate, you go to our super chat on YouTube to donate. But we're going to make a time machine where you can go back in time, right? If you can go back in time, what's another path you think you could have chose that led you to selling drugs?
I wonder that
you've been great at?
all the time. I promise you, like I wonder, because I don't, like I said, I wouldn't give back everything that I've been through, because like I said, I had fun. I love doing what I did, and I learned a lot. I am who I am because of it. But at the same time, like, I wonder what would have happened if we would have stayed in New York. What would have happened if I would have graduated and went to college? Like, how would my life have turned out? I don't know. I wonder too.
Right. So how can they what's next for the great D? You know what I'm saying? Like what's next for you?
So I've been looking at this actual, it's already made. It was a dog boarding, grooming clinic or something. So I've been looking. I'm trying to buy a big, I want to say like a compound. You know what I'm saying? Like for the dogs. So right now at home we've got 17 dogs total, but that includes the litter we just had. We've got six puppies in the litter. So we do have puppies available. They'll be available actually to go to homes on September 3rd. And these are American bullies. If you guys are familiar with the bully community, they are JDK's Rockstar, their grandkids, and so they'll be ready to go. They'll have their first shots. They'll have their ears cropped if that's what you want. We're going to get their ears cropped. They'll be vet checked and they'll be dewormed. So they'll be ready to go on the 3rd. We're just trying to, I think right now it's just focused on kind of like the dogs, you know what I mean? Moving some of them around, getting rid of some of them, placing some of them somewhere else, breeding, you know, the ones that we have. And she's my main focus right now. She's my baby. She's only 6 months.
Amazing.
I'm not sure she had a first heat yet, but I have a couple dogs in mind to breed her with.
And don't we got pups for sale right now?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's up.
So, yeah, we have a whole bully page. It's called Bully World Dayton, Ohio. It's on Facebook. You can get on there, inbox me, any information. On there you can get on there and ask any question that you want if you're in this, because I know there's a lot more people in that game that's not on that page. So if you have any questions, people know the answers on there. If you have any,
I'm gonna invite my friend Marcus. He breeds dogs in Florida, and he put me up on a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of money that goes into to me, just seeing like a bulldog or like a bully, I'm like, that's a beautiful dog. Not knowing how much money gotta go into making that dog an actual dog.
We spend like $400 a month on dog food. We spend, we got vet bills, C-sections when they have their babies are like $1,000. You got ear cropping for our litter now is $600. Like it's a lot,
For the whole litter?
Yeah. And people.
So it's not just all free bands when you get the dog.
Hell no, it's a lot of work. Like the whelping. I slept in the pool with the puppies in the beginning because you have to make sure that you rotate and the mother doesn't smother them or kill them or whatever. So you got to watch them and you got to let them feed for 2 hours, take them out for 2 hours, feed for, so there's a whole routine for the first week or two. It's exhausting. There's a lot of work that goes into it.
So how much is the typical pup? You know what I'm saying? Like from your bully community?
So probably 2,000 to, it just depends. Like the ones we have now.
Like the bloodline is from legendary stock. So that changes from you just having like no paperwork on a dog.
Yeah,
right?
and then that's the other thing too is we got the paperwork. And we pay for the paperwork too, so you got to
paperwork ain't cheap.
No, especially when you got litters and you got, a lot of dogs, the paperwork, so I mean it's a lot.
Okay.
Man, bully world, man. Let's go.
So, but if someone to contact you without social media, like them not worried about dogs, they want to contact you about your story. How can they contact you?
I'm on Facebook, DEBRA TELLER, on Facebook. Inbox me. I mean, I don't think anybody's got any questions about. What you want me to tell my phone number?
I was saying.
I didn't get that one either.
Pay some bills, man.
Hey, Horizon Science Academy Dayton High School is the best school ever. What'd you say, P?
You ain't cool if you don't go to that school, you heard?
Man, real stuff, man. Horizon Science Academy Dayton High School. Make sure you guys go and check them out. Enrollment is now. You can always enroll.
Yeah. So
make sure you go through there and let's get that done. Sheiks for breakfast. We're going to give Sheiks away.
Oh.
If anybody is watching, who is the one person watching right now? Comment. Comment right now. I'm going to give you a Sheik's breakfast to the next person that comments. So Sheik's for breakfast, Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you're ever injured, call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. Make the right choice. TheShopArea.com is like the baby Amazon. Delivery is always free from the store to your door in 4 business days. When you want to get lit a little bit, get you some good old Kiara wine. Contact Antoine Cunningham on Facebook. Or you can swoop it up at More for Less. We're at T-Shirt Kings, t-shirtkings247.com. It's going crazy, man. And Gold for Your Mouth and Camera King Studios. You can come and take family pictures right here inside our shop. Studio right over there. Man, so come and see what we're doing with Camera King Studios, the real flyer
Shannon
queen.
Marie wins.
Man, hey, Shannon, what's up with you? You see I said your name. I'm glad that you won. So, Shannon, you got free breakfast at Sheik's, man. I'm going to contact the owners and let them know that you will be coming through for your breakfast platter, man. So, Shannon Marie is the winner, man. Love you, Shannon. That is a great friend of mine, too, man. Shannon. And my bro Peanut Johnson teach you how to get a big bag of money from investing your money the right way. Sell stocks not dope every Sunday at 8 p.m. on the Dash Resource channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. And before we get up out of here, you guys, I want everybody to remember, if you don't remember nothing else from this podcast, remember Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. Horizon Science Academy, Dayton High School. Y'all, my basketball program is going to be up and running. We're going to get in the gym. I'm going to do a lot of things with the gym, but we're going to start this Baby King program, man. We got some kids coming from 2 to 5. We already got enough 2-year-olds, so we are enrolling 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. And then I'm also going to go back and get some of my Ohio Kings kids, let them come and do some open gyms there. And it's going to be like a really good thing. So make sure that you guys, if you got some kids and you want them to learn different things, we're going to use basketball as a tool to put some information to the kids, man, especially education and business entrepreneurship. I want to start kids off at 2 years old and put entrepreneurial seeds in them. So we'll see how this all works out. But the Baby King program, register at ohiokings.com/registration. T-Rube, I'm sorry, bro. I wanted to give you the breakfast. I'm gonna call Ron C and see if you can come up there and if they can give away 2 breakfasts. And I think Ron will do that. But if not, we will be giving away another breakfast next week. So, big bro, just make sure you stay watching, and I'll make sure that you win next week. I'll try my best, but you gotta watch every day.
You got an inside track.
All right, and Tony, I want you to come up here if you can, bro, and do the news with us one time, man. You know what I'm saying? I want you to come and chop it up with us, bro. We definitely need to hear your voice, man, on a lot of these issues that's going on.
Sure.
And I think that's about it. Do you want to take me out with some words of wisdom real quick? You got the last word.
Well, I feel like we need to use the things that happen in our life, and something positive always comes out of it. You know what I mean? A lot of times we look at things and we say, "Oh fuck, I done fucked up."
Yeah.
It's the end, but it's never the end. You know, we can always change it around. We have that ability and we have that power in us to make things different and to use the bad shit into something good, like selling dope. All the things that I learned out there in the street, I use it now, you know, in a positive, and it's to help other people. You know, I think that was my calling, and I had to go through that to be.
Yeah.
So
went from moving weight to now flipping cakes.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm. And what one thing that big bro Tony Ruby says is that he has skin in the game.
Yep.
You know, like, man, people can listen to him because he's been in every facet of the game. Mm-hmm. He been up, he been to prison, and now he's out, and he's made the change for the positive, and so he can relate to you on whatever level you're at.
Yep.
And so
me and Tony go to the prisons and stuff together.
Right.
So imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've got people like us together with more people added in.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got different levels, different type. Like, I'm a girl, he's a dude. You know, you got people doing different things.
Right.
People that's been addicted, people that's been selling dope. You know, all these things. So if I can't help somebody, then somebody else can.
Right.
My words don't reach them, then
right.
Then
I got your
somebody
quote in
else's
here.
will.
I had your quote here. It was so
Here's your
hard.
quote in 5, 4. Come on, find it.
She said, "We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone."
That's it.
Nice.
Legendary People Podcast, Legendary People, Legendary Stories.
Man.
LLC, your business, my business. If you got $650, get with me. If you only got $580, I know a lady. You heard?
All right, man. We love everybody, man. Legendary People Podcast, Real Neighborhood News. Go for your mouth T-shirt Kings, Camera Kings, and Dash Resource, man. We love everybody.